build one up.
Oh.
There you go. Hello and welcome to the Arcade Hangout episode number 99, the Wayne Gretzky episode.
What?
99.
Only when he was with Edmonton, not the LA Kings. Of his
9.
A bunch of arcade collectors like to collect arcade games. We meet once a week, chat about our shit, and let's go. So tonight we have a question of the night just to get our chat flowing, and this question comes from Joel, Mr. Griffin, and the question is, what is the most you've overpaid for a game because you were impatient? If you've never done that, what game would you see yourself paying a little extra for because it's a game you just really want that badly? So since he came up with the question to begin with, let's go to Joel.
Alrighty. Yes. Okay. Yeah, Robotron is the game that I overpaid for. I bought it about 4 years ago, and after playing it at Kaylin's house, I just thought, oh my god, this is the best game I've ever played, ever. I have to have one, and I go frantically looking for one. I found one in, I think it was like upstate New York or Philly, or it was East Coast somewhere. And the guy wanted like 1,000 for it or 1,100 for it, and I got him down to 900. But then I paid like another 400 to ship it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got the shipping on top of that.
Yeah, so it ended up costing me like $1,300. And
going for that now.
It's worked the whole. I mean, the good thing about it, it's worked the entire time I've had it. It's got the proper sticks on it, so it plays exactly the way it should. And from as far as like in the lineup is concerned, it looks totally fine, but it's not in great shape. Like, I mean, the side art, it looks like someone's painted it on with cheap hookers nail polish, you know, on the side there, trying to retouch it, and like the bottom of the cab where it reaches the bottom, where it reaches the ground, has hello kitty. Hi. Has been cut off, so it's really not a great cab, but it is a good playing Robotron. But yeah, I paid way too much money for it because I was impatient and I was all jacked up and ready to go and get my arcade going. That being said, lesson not learned. I think if I were to find either a Mad Planets or an Omega Race cockpit, I might be tempted to pay more than I probably should for either of those two games.
Well, Mad Planets would be pricey even at market price right now.
Yeah, I'm a little wiser these days, so I don't jump the gun quite as easily as I did back then with Robotron. But Mad Planets is a really super fun game, and going back to Grinkers this year, I again spent some time in the Omega Race cockpit, and I really enjoy sitting inside that machine. I love the way the controls are down by your sides, and you kind of, you know, you play it sort of down, sort of at hip level. I kind of dig that. It's kind of cool. Ow! Don't bite me, cat. Anyone want to buy a slightly used cat? Very friendly. Hardly damaged at all. No? Okay.
Unless it's new old stock, I'm not interested.
How is it damaged?
Yeah, it comes with a free set of very sharp claws. Bastard. Anywho,
You'll learn how to trim those things.
Trim? She's supposed to go outside and like catch wild beasts and climb trees and shit.
All of which probably make them sharper.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, so that's me. Paid too much for Robotron, but I'd probably paid too much for a couple of other bits and pieces. But hopefully not over the top these days. I'm gonna hand this offer to Jimbo DD.
So I was thinking about this actually before the show for once, and I don't think, like, I didn't knowingly buy any of my game, like overpay for them, knowing that I was overpaying at the time. So, like, you know, hindsight, I was like, oh geez, I put way more into this than I should have. So I don't really consider that relative to the question, but I will say for future stuff, I'm getting to the point now. I have a feeling I'm going to overpay regardless, but I'm willing to accept that for a big blue cabinet for Street Fighter. Actually, I would like 2 or 3 big blues I was thinking about, but we'll see what happens. Just getting one is a challenge. They just don't pop up around here, which is really strange because the fighting game community is really heavy, and those are our Street Fighter cabs. But I would like one for Street Fighter. I would like one for possibly a puzzle fighter and possibly D&D Tower of Doom. Fuck you, Gak. But
you know what? Puzzle Fighter would be good with you and Carrie playing that. She'd probably really dig that game.
That's true. I don't think she's played that. That's a good point.
When you guys come over here for your beer tasting or whatever, I'll put on Puzzle Fighter on the MAME cab.
All right.
Yeah.
What was the one with the naked dude that runs around? What was the game with the naked dude that runs around?
Loverboy?
I forgot.
Oh, we gotta play some Loverboy.
I'm looking forward to some Loverboy action.
We'll play all those.
That's the most fucked up
Nice.
game I've ever seen in my life.
Mock was getting pretty into it.
Oh, Mark loves it.
I was trying to see all the different animations in there.
Yeah, that's what it is. You want to give us the full experience.
Yeah, I want you to see them all. 'Cause they're pretty fun.
You want to get your name in the world record.
No, that's all right.
World record on Loverboy.
Ultimate Loverboy.
The fucked up thing about that game is like while the guy is running around, you can see his cock like.
Oh
swinging.
yeah, you can see his like 3 pixels that make up his tallywhacker.
So it's just
Wasn't
like in
there-
real
there was
life,
some
right?
Yeah.
I don't know how he
wasn't there-
doesn't trip up and fall over. He's a very.
There was
very
some other
talented
game where the
man.
dude was what the fuck game was that? The Sword in Fantasy. Yeah.
Yes.
Where it's like
You go sideways.
Oh, he wiggles it up and down. Wah, 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 wah,
Yeah.
wah.
Yeah, the way no one
Yeah.
in the history of Enter ever like actually held a sword is like by their fucking waist and just jiggling it.
waving it up and
down.
down. Look out! Here it comes.
That's a pretty thick sword. I was looking for veins.
Never played a sword fight unless you're doing a sword fight.
Shit. All right, I'll pass it off to Andrew.
So besides the $250 I paid for Defender,
Wait, Carrie's not here yet. You can't. Yeah.
you know, it's not really as
You have a green button.
Way too much money.
yeah.
That button.
And besides new in-box pins, you know, so I mean, my red Donkey Kong, I overpaid for that.
But that's
But
from WoW, right?
It was, and it was me helping a friend out who needed some cash, and so I didn't mind. To me at the time, it was like, you know, an $800 game. So I gave him a couple extra $100 because I thought it would help him out.
Oh, that's nice.
I know, so I don't mean to like put like a smiley face on my overpaying for a game, but it really was like helping to throw out. I mean, I already had my restored blue Donkey Kong, so I wasn't looking for one. So it really was just like, you know, hey, dude, if you ever sell that kind of thing, let me know, and I'll pick it up from you. That's it. Defender really is the answer. Steve.
This subject is like makes me ill. I don't even like thinking about it. Now I got to revisit it. It makes me sick to my stomach.
You can thank Joel. It was his question.
It makes.
Because I sold it for like half what I bought it for, so I just really,
Is that
I really just bent
like
over
this?
the sink and let him go at it.
Not me. What?
Thank you, sir. I have another. So yeah, it was it was one of those things where like Keith says this is one of my faults, I guess, is that I'm too impatient, and I don't know. I waited like I was looking for about 3 or 4 months or so, maybe longer, for that outrun, and you know, in the hobby, some people wait years, you know, but was one of those things where I'm like, oh, it'd be so cool to have a driving game in here, you know, because I don't, you can't play that on MAME very good. I don't, and like Gak says, I have a steering wheel. There's no steering wheel.
I wish there was, though, now.
I mean, you can play it with like the dial that you can play Arkanoid with.
Yeah.
But that's just lame, you know?
But don't they have like a steering wheel attachments you can put on those dials?
You can. Oh, yeah, the little teeny steering wheel?
Yeah. You can ride it, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
there is.
like an RC
Was there
car.
like a Saturday Night Live bit where some girl had like really tiny hands?
Oh, yeah, she had a baby arm.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect for her.
But yeah, you can use a hex screw on the dial, and you can take out, because the dial is actually metal, and it comes out, and then you can put in. They have attachments to put in a little steering wheel. But I always thought that was kind of lame, so
yeah,
I didn't go that route. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to have like a cool driving game like that, so I'm like, oh, I gotta find one. And after I bought that one for $600, which is like way too much money.
You know,
And then
you know what? I don't agree with that. That's about right for a working outrun. Is $600 is about right.
Really,
because you won't pay for that.
Oh,
He just thinks everything should be $200. That's what
he waits forever because he doesn't care, because he's owned everything at least one time or another. You know,
he went through that era where you could get anything you wanted for $25.
Yeah. You know, they're around 20 years ago, and everything was free. So,
Yeah, so I mean, now my quest is for a Robotron, of course, and I see Jim destroying a Robotron to turn it into a Toki. I'm like, that's the double-edged sword. I'm like, that's a Robotron, but yet I want to see a Toki too. So I don't know.
I'm not destroying it. The thing is, though, it was already converted.
That's
there's
true.
no, there's absolutely no side art. There's laminate on it.
Back into a Robotron.
You should turn it back.
Speaking of overpaying, that would be the most. I'd be better off almost building one from scratch. At that point.
Exactly. So. But anyway, so I sold it for like $300 or something, and I just saw it go leave. I'm just like, well, at least I got something out of it, I guess, because you remember it wasn't working. So I just kind of gave up on it. And he's asking me all these technical questions. I just played dumb because I pretty much was dumb about it. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with it.
It's probably just a fuse.
It's a fuse. Maybe it's a cap kit. I don't know.
Probably an easy fix.
So yeah. So, but yeah. So that's my thing. So anyway, move along. Who hasn't gone? Orange? Has Orange already gone?
Yeah, I've been trying to think. I'm cheap ass. I don't pay. I mean, I paid good money for a Paperboy, but it was still half the amount of what it's worth.
But you got 12 of them at the same time.
Yeah. Or that I buy bulk stuff. Yeah. But I'll do the second half of the question. I mean, I might have in the early days maybe paid over something at a auction because you got to add 15 or 20% on top, and I probably just got caught up in it. But I couldn't tell you what it was. But there are two machines, one in particular, and I'm right along there with Joel, and that's a Mad Planets. I've been wanting a Mad Planets for years now, probably about 5 years. I have pretty much all the parts to build one, except for the cabinet, which is easy to get made. Because they have was the J-Rock or whatever, the multi that you could do, and then there's a joystick that's very, very similar to the original one that Hap sells, and then I think Takeman just did a new shaft for it because the original joystick that you can buy from Hap's got a bend to it, and the new one's straight. He built replacements, so you can pretty much build one from scratch. I would still like an original that I would pay up for, but I would say that, and also a Warlords cocktail. I have pretty much everything for an upright, but I'd still like to have a cocktail. Both of those are games that are a hell of a lot more expensive today than they were even 5 years ago.
I even wonder if, to be honest, in today's economic environment, if it's even possible to overpay for a game. I mean, everything seems so inflated already, Yeah.
So,
I mean, sure.
Well, and I won't. And like I said, I won't. I don't. I have patience. I will wait years to pick something up. I don't care.
I'm still in denial about the prices of stuff. Like I'll just be like, oh, that's too much money, even though that's like what the current market value is of something.
Yeah. So
$200
$200
cocktail or or a Mad Planets is up in pin territory, it's kind of to me it's ridiculous.
Yeah, what's Warlords at now? It's floating around 3.
3, I would guess.
3.5. Yeah.
Hey, Orange, how many doubles or triples of games do you have?
I got 3 Spy Hunters, 3 Asteroids Deluxes. I've got 2 Star Wars.
And a partridge.
I've got a shit ton of Nintendo cabinets. I mean, I probably got a dozen cabinets.
Damn!
Some of them are empty, but I have boards for almost everything.
And 45 Karate Champs.
I have 450 PCBs. I have a lot of doubles, and some PCBs probably have 5 or 6 in the same game.
Oh, Keith was actually looking for Karate Champ. He's thinking about making one or something, so maybe...
I probably have a Karate Champ board kicking around.
All right, I'll tell him that.
Because I actually bought a Karate Champ game, so I have a full working game of Karate Champ.
So awesome. I love
How is that becoming like a game to like play? I mean, maybe it's just because it's fun for 2 people to play it or something. I don't know, but it's funny that Keith brings that up. We were walking by it at Grinkers, and we were looking at it, and he's like talking about maybe buying one or something, or building one or something.
It brings back memories of Commodore 64. I used to play those kind of games in my Commodore all the time.
That's one game where like I feel like there's no way I could hang on Street Fighter, but Karate Champ, I feel like without too much effort, I could kind of hang.
You don't have to remember 6 buttons and all the combos.
Yes, exactly.
There's a lot of moves to that game, but really you just need, it's all about the timing, and so you really don't need to know all of the moves. You need to know like 3 or 4 good ones, and that's really, at least for me, that's all there's to it. I was doing some digging to figure out how far I was in that game once I got to champion status, when the game like freaked out, you know.
I caught the tail end of that when you were doing that.
And I apparently, if I understand it correctly, I was 2 levels away from it cycling, because then it starts at the beginning, but the CPU is still ridiculously hard. So there's apparently 11 or 12 levels in there, and I was on. I was 1 away. I think there's 12 levels, and I was on the 11th. Yeah, and then it repeats and cycles over.
In that vein, do you guys remember there was a Yi Kung Fu?
Yep.
But also there was a game called Way of the Exploding Fist.
Exploding Fist. Yeah, that was my favorite one.
Yeah. Now, was that just a console?
I think that was. Yeah, I think it was console. I used to play it on Commodore.
Yeah, on Commodore 64.
That was the best karate game. Period.
Way of the Exploding.
The best name as well. Way of the Exploding Fist.
I've never heard of that one.
Come on.
I remember Bruce Lee on the Commodore, but not that one.
Look that up.
That sounds very Bruce Lee-ish with the title.
Remember Bruce Lee thinking to like fight a bunch of guys and stuff? Then you put it in the Commodore. Well, my friend had a Commodore. He's all excited. We get home from Toys R Us with it, and then all you do is like touch lanterns the whole time.
We can run and jump.
Or are they?
I actually I have a Commodore 64 Bruce Lee T-shirt.
Yeah, I mean,
that rocks.
It had like a really cool title screen, if I remember right. But I remember in the game, all you did was run around and gather lanterns, and I think switch a switch or something to get to the next area or something.
There you go.
You didn't fight hardly at all in it.
You could kick and punch, but it was pretty easy.
Yeah,
punch. It's all in
the mind.
Somebody actually made that link. Somebody made a remake of the Bruce Lee game, so you can actually play it on like a Windows machine now.
Yeah.
Hey Whip, can you broadcast that link in the chat?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Exploding Fist.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a drink.
Bruce Lee game.
The Exploding Fist.
This is Way of the Exploding Fist. It was so badass.
That reminds me of Karateka.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It was like Karateka, but it was
without weapons.
It was better. Karateka was so bad, but so good.
This is like Karate Champ, sort of, though, right?
Yeah, this is like on the Commodore 64, though. Look at those color graphics.
Yeah, beautiful.
I love the mustache.
Like
ultra realistic. That guy has sideburns, too.
Yeah.
That snow looks so real.
It's like you're there.
It's like I'm there, like a star.
We're there, dude. Oh, look at that! Oh, it popped up to play next.
It's like you're taking your own training.
Yeah. But shit, you compare that to what 2600 had.
Oh, yeah, it was like
man,
4 dots.
64.
Like,
This is
Yeah.
shit.
All right, who are you tossing off to there, Brad?
let's go Buffett.
Terrible. Tossing off to.
There's no good way. Wait,
Well, I finally did get to
Passing it?
meet Buffett, so let's toss off to
handing
Buffett.
it.
Let's see, how many times has Orange Whip tossed off to Arcade Buffett?
To Buffett.
I don't know.
Three in the back room at least. When he gave me that Old Bay seasoning, that was one.
Yeah.
When I
Speaking
saw
of, my wife has cooked like 4 or 5 meals
Yeah,
with Old Bay. So
Yeah, he hands it to you, and you're like, "Is this a lubricant?"
yeah.
That's it.
Old Bay lube.
It's
That's it.
like
So has it been good, guy?
the opposite of
Yeah.
Gold Bond.
For sure.
Yow!
Cool.
So my wife kind of compared it to kind of
burns.
southern, like Cajun-ish style.
Sure. I mean, I reckon.
Yeah.
You know.
It's good though. Yeah, for sure.
I reckon.
No, that's it. I reckon. But no. Well, before I knew any better, I overpaid because I wanted it from my Pac-Man cocktail. But if I had the money right now and overpaid, I really want a Transformers LE. So yeah, I would probably pay stupid money for that if I had it, but I'm going to have to wait because I'm poor. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
I don't think I've ever even played a Transformers pin.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I have either.
I'm a big fan.
And what qualifies as stupid money?
Well, if I had 5,000 or 6,000 sitting around doing nothing, 7.
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause
wait,
I
wait.
don't know what the LEs go for.
Did you want the pro? That was it the pro you said or the?
No, the LE.
LE.
Oh, you know what though? A lot of people say the pro is better. It flows better.
No, I see. I don't care. I don't care about that. I like the LE because I like the toys. Like because I'm no good at it, so it's always fun for me when I get it up there.
yeah.
You know? So I'm not a competitive player. So no, I agree with that for competition purposes. Yes, I totally agree with that. But yeah, for me, I like the toys. I want to play, with the game. I want to try to do everything that I can whenever I can do it. So
That's what I was with Tron. I'm like, I really wanted a Tron premium, but I just can't pay 10 grand for a pinball table. It's just too much money.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
No?
yeah. And the only other game that I overpaid for was my original converted Galaga 3. But I was new to the hobby then, so I didn't know a lot, know where to look and who to talk to and all that stuff. So I paid about $800 for a $400 game. So I paid a little bit much for that. But that was 17 years ago. So it's been a
Yeah,
while.
and you didn't knowingly, like at the time, you didn't think you were overpaying. That's kind of where I was coming from with my answer. Is that like that's how I interpreted the question? Is that if you say what game did you overpay for because you were impatient? Well, that implies that that you're paying more money just because you want it right now. But at the time, it's like I don't know. I thought it was a good deal.
Yeah, I did because I like the game, and there's not that many around, and I just fell in love with it when I first played it. So I had to have it from the retailer, so that's what I did.
It was love at first play.
Yeah,
Could
pretty
you-
much.
Could you sell your Doctor Who to start putting money towards that
No.
pin?
That is for my girlfriend. That is her pin.
Oh,
Doctor Who. Pretty
No.
fun.
thanks for that idea.
I like the mini playfield that comes up in the different stages. And
Yes.
it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It's a fun game.
Yeah.
That's cool
Yeah.
sound effects.
Yeah. The only other one that I would pay, like I said, but that's what it's worth. It'd be if I had 10 or 12,000 laying around and I found a Twilight Zone, I would probably drop it on a Twilight Zone because I really like that game too. So
It's a fun one.
yeah,
Hard
between
game too.
between Transformers and Twilight Zone, those are the two that I would drop.
Sounds like we're losing Buffett to the pinball side.
No.
Dark side of the force.
No, I'm firmly on the video game side. I'm actually working on a pinball right now for somebody, so but that's for work purposes. But yeah, those are the ones that I had that I would do. So well, I think I'm the last one at the moment.
Yak, I believe.
Nope, I haven't gone yet.
Oh, God, we'll go.
All right, so Okay, let me just clarify this. So the most I spent for a game that I really wanted, or that I felt like I overspent for a game I really wanted.
The most you felt like you overpaid per game.
Okay. So not for a game I really wanted. It was, yeah, I'll call it an impulse buy. Golden T99, I think.
What?
Oh,
That's the last title.
We all laugh at you.
I didn't think over $10. That's too much.
Yeah, right. So let's see.
They're always on like Craigslist
I
too.
think I only had maybe 5 or 6 games at the time, and I've gone through 100 since then or whatever. But yeah, it was at an operator's warehouse, and he had an ad on Craigslist, and he's like, "Yeah, I've got lots of games. They're all $100." And you get there and like, "Oh, that thing's totally trash. That's some weird conversion. I don't know what that is." Like Radical Bikers. You guys know that one?
Radical with a K.
But they were broken though, and I'm like, it looks just like a hideous game to me. I never played it before.
That'll be John's next big game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Radical. There you go. Yeah.
I converted Radical Bikers into Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Oh really? Huh.
Yeah, that's what I did with it.
Yeah. So he had a couple of those, but the Golden Tee, I was like, oh, that might be a good one to have, friends over that, just want to hang out, play golf, or, golf game, drink some beers or whatever. But it was working. I think it was in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cabinet that was converted, all painted black.
Which is worth a hell of a lot more money now than the game.
Right. And I paid $100 for it, which really that's not a whole lot of money. But I'm like, like I was getting all the other games I was getting was for 100, maybe even less. Most of the games I was buying at the time, and I'm like, why did I buy this freaking thing? And I think I found 4 quarters in it, and then maybe 3 months later I sold it for $100. So I pocketed $1.
You made $1.
No regrets on that one. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty lucky. I think I don't overspend for games. I try to avoid that major impulse, So
yeah, I think once you've been in the hobby long enough, you learn that lesson pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
you already have a good amount of games.
My biggest butt clenchers were always the pins that I've owned. Yeah. I don't know about that one.
You must really feel like that now because everything's so expensive.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine now. There's no way. I'm so far off the hobby.
Yeah, even the ones that used to be, $1,500 to $2,000 are like getting like $3,000 range now.
Yeah, I've owned a few in the low 2s, and I'm like, I just felt wrong the whole time. Like, I've way overpaid. I shouldn't own this. You
feel guilty?
Yeah.
A friend of mine picked up 2 Twilight Zones for $1,500 a piece, and he basically flipped them for $1,800, and he offered them to me first. I was like, hell no, I'm not paying $1,800 for no pinball machine.
Yeah.
Way back when, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have Twilight Zone now, but I mean, we paid like $4,500 for it, and even then it was still worth like over $8,000. So
yeah. I mean, all the pins I had, I certainly made money on all of them when I got rid of them, but not like the crazy amount of money that could have been made if I held on them for a few years. But
is there any pins that you've sold that you used to own that you kind of miss a little bit or that you liked?
I don't know. I mean, the gameplay sucked, but I love the theme. Star Wars, the Data East Star Wars.
Oh,
the gameplay was just crappy, I thought. But I love the theme.
I like that game too.
The game that was fun, probably the funnest one I had was the Pin 2000 Revenge from Mars.
Ooh, yeah.
But I didn't. That's one that seems so dark. Mine, anyways. The playfield seems so dark, and I'm like trying to see where the ball's going, but the way the gameplay was pretty fun to me. But yeah, the other ones were all just kind of meh. I had the one Carrie had too, the Getaway, High Speed 2. That one was a little fun, but after a couple months, you're kind of meh.
Yeah, I had it for a month.
Star Trek 25th Anniversary. That one, like the soundtrack seemed almost identical to Star Wars. It was like the same Data East generic soundtrack kind of thing.
Is that the one where they energize on the back glass?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, and it's like a lenticular hologram kind of display. Yeah. Mine was cracked, but
oh no, did it work?
Yeah.
And someone must have punched it if it was cracked.
Yeah. Well, it was like a thin translite behind the glass.
Okay.
And that was what was cracked. Translite kind of thing, but yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I couldn't imagine spending thousands for a pinball. I don't know how you guys do it.
By selling lots of arcade games.
Yes, right. Yeah. So that's my overspent was $100 on a Golden T99. So
Cheapass.
I know. You know, I feel like I could name a few others where I feel like I've paid a lot for them, but I automatically knew they were worth more though, so I can't really say, you know. I'm used to paying a couple hundred, maybe a few hundred for a game, but when I pay more than that, I feel like I'm spending too much, you know.
Well, yeah, that's the same way I've been lately because
that's a good way to be though.
I want to be $200, $300, $400 maximum, but you know, you pay $1,000 for a Paperboy, but I mean it's worth like $2,500. So
yeah,
you know, I could flip it tomorrow and be way ahead. So
paying over $1,000 for anything. I mean, it's just like once you start creeping over that $1,000 mark, you need to feel very, very confident that you're getting a good deal. You know.
Yeah. And my two most recent on that was Zookeeper and Major Havoc. So. Where I'm like, oh, that's a lot of money, but I knew right off the bat they're worth more than what I paid for them. So, I
have
Paperboy, Marble Madness, and one I just got, the Ice Cold Beer.
Yes, there's a good one. Yeah,
actually,
those are like the most.
I paid a little bit for them, but they're still worth a lot more money.
Yeah.
The biggest amount of money I've spent recently was Orange Whip's fault.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you went to that guy's place.
Yeah.
You know, and then
aren't you glad you have them?
I'm very glad.
Oh, your Timber Tapper combo?
Timber Tapper for $3,000 for the two. But that was even then. It was just like, oh shit, this is $3,000. I mean, I know it's not pinball money, but you definitely run into these psychological barriers as well because. If someone said to you, "Hey, do you want to buy an Indiana Jones in great condition for $4,000?" You know, you'd be like, "Oh shit, for an indie, that's a bargain." Yeah, absolutely, $4,000. If someone says, "Hey, I'm selling Timber and Tapper together for $3,000," and there's a big pause there, you're like, I know that's actually a good deal.
Yeah.
And like Whip was just saying with Paperboy, you know, it's just like if someone said, "Do you want a nice Paperboy in good condition for $1,000?" It should be a no-brainer. But still, you kind of hit that wall where you're like, "Fuck, I don't know if I want to pay $1,000 for, you know, an arcade machine." But yeah, I mean, I sold my spare Paperboy for $2,800, and it sold in less than 24 hours.
Yep.
Wow.
I drove all the way to Spokane to pick that thing up. So,
well, see, I want a Robotron, but they made so many Robotrons. I'm not gonna get one shipped from somewhere to get one.
That's the thing too.
I think California, I'll find one I can just drive to and get rid of.
To me, I don't know. Maybe I'm an uneducated buyer, but the educated buyer, like, are you buying? You really want the game, and if you're gonna buy it from a collector, you're gonna pay premiums. You know, but in most cases, it's probably been pretty well taken care of or had rebuilds. But your best bet is to buy basically from the uneducated seller, you know. Craigslist deals where somebody wants it out of their garage.
I look on Craigslist every day.
Yeah, that's the gamble.
That's where the patience comes in.
Yeah, that's the gamble because exactly what Gak just said. You know, you can buy a nice machine from a collector and they've probably recapped it. They've gone through. They've done a battery upgrade. They've checked it for all of the issues that you would have. So, you know, the confidence is if you're buying from a reputable person, then you're going to get a machine that's not going to give
Then you open up and look inside, and it's like a J-Rock board.
Yeah, and some gay porn and all the other goodies that you get with a good collector cab.
No wonder this is so reliable.
Yeah.
Or you take your chances and hope for the uneducated seller, where you can snag that Robotron for $300. But shit, man, I mean I did a nationwide search today on Search Tempest. I sat there for about 2.5 hours going through stuff, and I was posting the links to the bits and pieces.
Those were some good deals.
All kinds of Minnesota stuff. I'm like, yeah, I saw that.
But I mean, it is thin on the ground. And not just in California. I mean,
that's the thing too.
So many of these stupid ass sport themed custom MAME cabinets. I'm so sick of seeing shit like that.
Know, yeah, the Dallas Cowboys cocktail.
Yeah, I'm getting a little too like stingy where I'm like, I want side art on it, because like I saw Andrew when he did the stenciled Robotron and what a nightmare that was. I'm like, I keep thinking it's gonna be like that if I try to do it.
Holy shit! It's
down in California. Do you guys have other like online classified things? I mean, I know you have the apps, the Near Me.
There's OfferUp.
I use OfferUp.
Let Go.
Let Go. Yeah.
Craigslist, and also the Facebook one.
Yeah.
Do you have any, like,
And here we've got Kbit as well, which is
Kbit.
Yep, Kbit. K-bid. It's an auction site where it's usually like bars and stuff that are closing down. And that's like when I was posting stuff like that giant rodeo, like 6-player, like Dave and Buster style thing. And like that was like that. Those are the type of things that pop up once in a while. So I check there every once in a while. But the thing is, it's an online auction site. I've gotten a couple neon signs, and I think I got my first Mega Touch, the one that Andrew has now, off there for a decent price. But lately, all the shit's been bid up to stupid money. Like it's dumb. Like I get pissed off. It's kind of like, I'm sure it's like any of the other online auction sites where it's a real mixed bag, hit and miss. Like sometimes you can kind of snag a deal, and other times it's like, why is this being so fucking bid up?
I know there's like on Vancouver Island. I mean, we have Craigslist here. We also have Kijiji, but on Vancouver Island, there's some regional ones that people use there. And there's somebody who actually got a Robotron fairly cheap recently. And I know when I went to one of the arcades in Salt Lake City, that guy there, he said he doesn't use Craigslist. There's a local online classifieds that I think it's Paper maybe he has that he goes onto, and that's where he was getting most of his games from, was from a localized one. I was just curious if you guys had anything like that in your areas that you check for on top of Craigslist and OfferUp and stuff like that.
Just those two apps, Let Go and OfferUp.
Too, like Mock said, I found a few deals on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook's getting more.
That's something I haven't tapped into.
It's just like the general marketplace. It's not an arcade collector group thing.
You can. Yeah, sometimes you can find stuff on there. But here's the thing: like every single person in this hobby should be putting a wanted ad in their local classified
on the Craigslist or whatever. Yeah,
I come across Joel's once in a while when I'm shooting through stuff. Like, oh, there's Joel.
I see Steve Murky's on, who's one of the Minnesota collectors.
Yeah,
he has one too. The thing with that though is that I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can say no to whatever people present to, but the thing is that like I'm not always ready to just drop money on something if it pops up. That's why to me, I like just looking, and there's almost a sense of relief some days where I'm like, I feel obligated, I gotta check. Please, I hope there's nothing that I want to buy up there. Like there are days like that where I'm like, oh good, I'm not tempted by anything.
But if you can squirrel away, $400 or $500, stick it in your sock drawer, just leave it there, and always have your ad, because I've literally had people call me on my ad, and they were 5 minutes drive from my house, and the guy had a Tron and a Dig Dug, and he wanted $400 for the two.
Oh my god!
I mean, that literally happened, and it was in response to my wanted ad. So
did you get a partial?
the cool thing about the Tron was
Full on, man.
I
Just like his shirt.
I picked them both up. And
Semi-chub.
the reason the Tron wasn't working was because of the disconnect switch on the back door.
Interlock switch?
Yeah, they weren't pushed in?
That's great.
Oh, my God.
That was it. Game just fired up.
Funny.
I picked up a Donkey Kong before Cocktail because the guy didn't know there was on and off switch on it anymore. He just forgot.
Oh, jeez.
But the point of this is, it's just like, yeah, you might not get the specific games you're looking for, but you can definitely get trade bait.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
I've gotten a lot of I put ads up for monitors quite a bit because here there's so many people that convert to 16:1s,
right?
Put LCDs in them, and
yeah.
To recycle some of those things, it costs you money to actually put them in recycling. So people just want to get rid of them. I've had a ton of people reply to me for monitors.
Yeah,
so you collect LCD flat screens?
When people call you and they say, "Oh, I've got a Pac-Man or whatever," you just say, "No thanks, dude. That's something I probably couldn't really do anything with that."
We should maybe next week for our 100th, we should have a challenge where we all have to put up the exact same ad in our area and see what we all reply to.
Oh, that's an interesting challenge.
Asteroids?
That'd be pretty fun.
Your ad needs to say, "I will come and pick it up, take it away, and give you cash." That's what people want to hear. I will take your shit, get rid of it for you, and I'll give you cash.
Let's formulate it. Let's formulate an ad. We all have to use the same ad.
Oh,
no gay
I got offered a Handy and a Xevious.
I have had me.
All right, Joel, just send us your ad and we'll copy paste it.
Yeah, but I mean, anyone in the hobby should be doing that.
Yeah,
all the time.
The more you know. Dun-dun-dun.
Right.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. I've had a lot of people call me with different stuff that I ended up picking up.
You learn anything from
it
this
might not be
podcast
something
today,
you're looking for, but straight.
That'd be good. And we should take a challenge to do this for a month.
Ooh.
Yeah, just
right? So it's
see what you can pick up in a month,
and then we'll check in once a week and see what we get calls back on.
We should have a
talk about on the show. It's kind of funny.
We should have a cash limit on it as well. Like you're not allowed to spend more than X.
I got offered a Major Havoc for $200, and I didn't want it.
I'm sorry, but my limit's 150. I can't take it.
I just hope everybody gets Robotrons but Mock.
That's what's basically happened anyway. So fuck.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sorry, Mock.
We'll all get in
Jack.
Except Carrie.
It's good to know some good people and have networks, right?
Yep. That's true.
Actually, I've had a lot of people. Once your friends and everyone know that you collect these things, I'll get Facebook messages from people I haven't spoken to in a while. I'll be like, "Hey, I know that you're in this. Here's something I found on the curb or this garage sale or whatever.
You
interested in this?" And
or this?
Most of the time I'm not. But
that doesn't work for me. I told Keith I was looking for a whitewater, and then he goes, "Yeah. I want a whitewater too." I was like, "No, you didn't. You didn't want one until I said I wanted one." And then I go to his house. He's got a whitewater over there. I'm like, "You fuck."
Double is. I'm gonna bust your balls a little bit, Mark. You definitely fall into the Jow category, where if it isn't like within 300 yards of your house and perfect and affordable, then you don't want it.
I drove to
wait, is Joey even in this hobby anymore?
You know what? I had chatted with him today. He actually sent me a message on Facebook, and he was saying, because we used to swap vegan recipes for different.
That's what all you swapped.
And he sent me a message. He was like, "The vegan world misses you," and I replied, I was like, "Yeah, the arcade world misses you." And he was like, "Oh man, I've just been so caught up with family and kids and all this stuff." He said, "But it's coming to the end now. Baseball season's over." So he actually wants to come and hang out next time we do a get together, Mark.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So I'll definitely try and.
Maybe he'll want to come down for the March thing.
Oh, he better.
Yeah.
Better. Holy fuck.
He always weasels his way out, though. You know what's good about contacting is Jeff C. See if he wants to come down.
The other thing I want to try and potentially do, if I can, for the March thing, is the Parappa the Rapper full-size arcade game.
Oh, I don't have that running on my name tab.
And all up in my Maslow.
I remember you talking about that. I've never played that game.
Oh, dude.
It's like an Xbox or PlayStation game?
PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
That was like a launch title
almost.
almost.
So easy to convert to an arcade machine. I mean, it's the original rhythm game.
What would you solder to a controller? Or what would you do for the controls for that?
Yeah, I just used a regular PS1. I'd bust out the controls, and I'd like patch it into arcade buttons.
I've done that before with an Xbox. It's a pain in the ass to solder on those pads.
Yeah,
they lift off so
totally
easy.
Doable. Totally
it's doable. I've done it. It's just you gotta have very precision, steady hands.
Yeah, I want to make like a 25-inch Trinitron Parappa the Rapper arcade machine.
That would be a hit at CAX.
Has a Amigo arcade machine. It's close.
I'm gonna build a Loverboy.
A big old wiener on the side of the cat.
They wouldn't even let me through the door. It had to be in like the
with a cop chasing
a curtained area, 18 and
You'd have just a big old schlong just hanging under the control panel.
Just do the Atari 2600 art for Keystone Capers, but have a big penis on the Look up Keystone Capers cover art, and then
big
just
old
picture
schlong just hanging off.
Picture the prisoner with a big old wang.
The wang.
I could just like draw on some art on there.
We'll find you a Robotron, Mark, one day.
Yeah, someday.
We'll find one for you.
So
actually, what it'll be is I'll find a really nice one, then I'll sell you mine for a small profit.
Small fortune.
Yeah.
Canadian Arcade said Loverboy Environmental.
Oh, God.
Like what was that Disney ride where
as long as there's a lot of black lights.
Bugs Life? You were like the chairs had like stuff probing out at you.
Oh yeah, they poke you in the back and stuff, and little
that they need to get one
air
of those
hoses
Loverboy
underneath your butt.
little dick tickler.
Yeah. Tickle your butt.
That game is so messed up. Like when you catch the girls and it switches to the
you rape them.
The rapey scene. It's adorable.
The rape scene with like the love meters on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Trumpy boy.
And you gotta make them come before you come. That's the thing. I can't believe that's.
Well, at least he's a thoughtful lover.
Yeah, I mean he's trying. He keeps his hat on the whole time.
That's impressive.
He's a gentleman.
Does he have a receding hairline he's trying to cover up, or what?
I think it's funny that he's just running around naked around the neighborhood.
We're going streaking.
What would that look like in the world of Tron? Would you see like just a naked guy running around?
Well, there goes old Petey again. He's on the loose.
Petey.
So, is everyone all caught up with Stranger Things?
Is anyone not?
I'm up to like number 8, I think.
I'm up to number 4.
Okay.
All right, so we can spoil it.
You know, I gotta say, man, I had a lot of fun that Friday night mock, and Andrew.
Yeah, that was a blast.
Yeah.
We were drinking, riffing off each other, saying stupid shit.
Hashtag Stranger Things.
Yeah, we're making like jokes throughout it.
Carrie missed all of your messages because we're all in her garage and the internet sucks there. So we came inside and we're like, "Hey, maybe it's time to watch next episode." And all of a sudden, it was like half an hour later, and I was like, "Where are they?"
I like texted Carrie, I texted Jim, and I did it in Slack too. And
we walk inside, and all of a sudden, our phones blow up. Oh shit!
Yeah, we're trying to get you in sync with us because we're gonna wait for you guys.
We're like, okay, we're gonna do one more episode.
We actually got ahead of you guys, and we finished it like the next day or something. Like we went through them really fast.
I shot through it in 2 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I like to
I'll
take
do
a
stuff
lot.
I can deal with. I can deal with the BMX bikes not being period correct. The LCD.
I hear that a lot.
But that fucking rocker dude with his shitty ass mullet. That's just like the hairdo seemed wrong.
Yeah, what is going on with that guy?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That a bad wig or what?
He looks like
Yeah.
Spicoli. Come on.
It's a bad
No, I
wig.
knew people with really bad hair back in the day, but that's just like weird.
Yeah,
That's like
the
he's
black
going through
eyebrows.
radiation treatment or something. I don't know, man.
What's going on with that?
Everybody like on YouTube and stuff is writing things like about the Dig Dug where you can't put that many characters in and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
I had a couple of BMX
flat
friends.
screen Dig Dug and you know, that
I had a
kind of
couple of
shit.
BMX friends message me on Facebook about that because I know I do arcade stuff.
Yeah.
What's
And they're like,
crazy
"Dude,
about
that's
that
not
is
right. 6 characters.
Yeah.
is that the games originally did have CRTs in them. So I thought that was interesting that the producers or whatever replaced them with LCDs. Like I thought that was worse than anything else.
That Dragon's
I
Lair
heard that they
screen
had
wasn't
CRT.
right either.
I heard they
What's
had
that?
The bezel wasn't right on it and stuff.
Oh shit! You're all talking at the same time.
Oh,
What are you
sorry.
saying, Brad?
I said I heard they had CRTs in for filming, but then in the post they put in the LCDs because of the flickering they got when they were shooting.
They didn't realize
That's just
it
lazy
after.
ass shit, though. You can get rid of that flickering pretty easily.
Well,
Yeah.
but what
It's
if you're
all
trying to
shutter.
sync your camera to multiple monitors? Isn't that harder though?
Yeah, like that was.
Yeah, you couldn't sync a camera.
I mean,
Yeah, but
doing it to,
look at the shots though. Like there's almost always it cuts to instantly to a close up of whatever game they're playing. Like there were very few shots where there were multiple games with visible screens.
Come on, though, dude. Reality check. I mean, no fucking producer cares about that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to tell a
They're
story.
pleasing
I
and
don't know.
They don't care about
They're
that
trying-
game.
yeah, yes and no.
But
I
where's
mean,
the work though? Because like, is the work? Like, someone had to swap all those. Or wait, was it all done in post? Period.
Watch
Thing was all done in post.
Watch fucking Fast Times, War Games, all of these movies that had multiple
CRTs, yeah.
CRTs. Don't
I
give
read
me that
I
shit.
read online that Dragon's Lair was actually running off of a DVD and they were just fast forwarding and rewinding where they needed it. So I don't know.
I don't know. If they're
I
so
spotted
cute-
a Major Havoc in the background too. By the way,
No.
it was in
Oh, did
Tetris
they?
Cab, and I was like,
Anybody,
"Ooh,
anybody spot the
maybe
Space Duel poster in the kids' room?
Oh, the Space Duel?
Yeah, the Space Duel poster. In
Poster,
the
yeah.
room.
But what about Space Knife?
I know, right?"
Yeah, I want Space Knife in my collection now.
And so the thing I saw about that was one of the people that works on the set. He has a band or had one called Space Knife. You can
Nice.
find it on YouTube. There's like really cheesy, it's very 80s style music videos, but they were done in like the last 5 or 10 years. And they're an actual group, Space Knife. So you can find that on YouTube. And I think that's what that was.
That's a
It was a
cool name.
tie-in to the guy who worked on the set, or maybe one of the people who created the show. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I heard if you set your camera to like 15 frames per second, then you don't have any of those issues with.
It's not just
with the screen.
the frame rate. It's it's actually the shutter speed.
Yeah, the shutter speed. So
Yeah. So
That can
they're a
be
little bit
adjusted to
different, but
be-
yeah.
isn't 15 hertz 15 frames a second?
It's a refresh rate.
Yes and no. It's yeah.
I mean, it's blinking.
It's a refresh rate of the monitor. It's not the frame rate.
Well,
Right.
you know the
but,
movie.
yeah, but yeah, if you adjust your shutter speed, it's kind of like it's easier to shoot CRTs than it is to shoot like a fucking fluorescent light, you know. So
Well, when,
Or an
you know
LED.
I was listening to the commentary on RoboCop, and you know the scene where RoboCop comes in at the end and he like shoots.
yeah, that was all
shoots them.
great.
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
those
those
all
are
those
real CRT. You know, those are CRT monitors that are all behind him, and you notice there's none of that flipping or the line going across. And they were talking about how they had to set their I guess the frames per second or whatever on the shutter speed to 15 frames per second to be able to remove
yeah, they had
artifacts.
to undercrank them.
Undercrank it, yeah, only just for that scene. But that's why the screens all look great every time they show the TV screens in the background. So
Well, the funny
it
thing
is
is-
possible to do. It's not impossible.
all the people that are saying that in post was when they did, like, they shot it with CRT, but the flickering, and in post they put the LCD in. Why wouldn't they just shoot a good CRT in post and put that in? That's what
I mean. In
that would
post,
make more sense.
they don't put an LCD in post. They take an image and they After Effect it.
Well, it's video, right? Because they're actually playing the game.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not.
I know you can tell the fake
LCD,
blur they put on it.
I mean, they're taking the screen cap and putting it in.
Yeah, I mean, but you could still put like an effect of a curvature of a screen on it if you
distort it.
Maybe. But, I mean, I really
adds another couple hours.
I guess it doesn't really add to the plot.
Yeah.
In the big picture, these guys do not care about that.
Well, if you're going these links to create that, why won't you go
That's
that
the thing,
one extra step?
Like that show feels more 80s than anything else I've ever watched before.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So,
there was actually
you lose it.
Halt and Catch Fire did a pretty good job too, I'd say, on ANC.
Yeah.
There was an entire article about it on, I want to say Engadget or The Verge, and they were talking about they interviewed the director of photography, and he was talking about the amount of effort that they put into the way that they shoot it to be able to give it that that authentic feel. And he was bitching about all these TVs that have the interpollination. Frame up sampling.
Yeah, we turned that off on our TV because of that.
Yeah, and he was saying that these TVs are ruining all of the effort that they put into trying to make it look legitimate.
If you go to your TV,
like interlace, like
turn off True Motion, turn off 120 hertz,
all that shit. Yeah.
No 120 hertz, no True Motion, whatever they call it.
I hate the True Motion crap. I turn that off.
I did that in Andrews in Denver.
It feels weird when you watch.
I can't watch Back to the Future like this.
Yeah, it feels like you're watching like weird.
Where's that remote? Andrew's like, I don't even know where the fucking remote is, dude. I'm like,
looks like a daytime soap opera,
like clear VHS quality.
So drunk by that, dude. I'm like, must fix this.
Yeah,
and I'm like, dude, God, he's getting a stool out. He's
freaking out. I gotta watch this.
Go for it. Like the thing just sits in the corner. I don't even look at it. It's just like noise.
I was so relieved.
The only television I remember from Andrew's place was
that's the most fucked up remote too. That shit is like a mouse. I'm like, how the hell?
Yeah, those LGs with the weird mouse on screen.
That was so fucking weird.
But I was so 2 a.m. Trying to convince
we can watch tentacle porn the way it was made.
It is a good movie.
And with 1,000 cocks or whatever it was.
But a million cocks are coming out. The Legend of Overfiend is what Gak's talking about, by the way. So if you ever want to see a real fucked up, crazy anime with dirty tentacle porn, that's it.
Show your real lip first.
And that thing is like old too. That's not. That's like
I've got the box set of it.
Like early 90s or late 80s.
Okay, all right. To somewhat relative, on Netflix, there's a show called Big Mouth. It's like an animated series.
Oh, okay.
You got to see the first show. Just see that, please.
What's it on?
It's called Big Mouth.
Big Mouth.
On what is it on?
Netflix.
Netflix.
It's an animated show. It's a comedy. You think of like
is that the one with the kids like the teenagers going through puberty?
Yes.
I did see that. I was like, I didn't watch an episode yet, but I was looking at the episode names.
Just the first one, man.
The first episode title is ejaculation.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my god. I was like, whoo. Yeah.
Gary says she's emotionally scarred by the tentacle porn.
Yeah.
We all are.
Our internet's having problems. Yeah.
I think people just need to relax a little bit. What's a little tentacle between friends? I don't see the problem.
Just close your eyes and
4, 8.
Yeah. Stop tickling my ear. Yeah.
Hey, isn't Crafty Mac supposed to be hanging out with us tonight?
He said he was going to come on here and talk about the BitKit thing.
Yeah, he better hurry before. Well, we're already going off the rails. Actually, I should ask my questions before we're entirely like. So,
Hammer.
Did you guys see my post or my question in Slack about the side art? Like, where?
Yeah.
This is like. So, all right. Well,
it's small. It's small side art. It's like 14 inches by like 24. You should easily be able to get that done at Staples or Kinko's.
Oh,
okay.
That's like not even.
Because like I don't want to fuck with having to stitch it. I just want one shot.
Yeah, scan that one shot.
Then you can send that to Mock, and he can do everything else.
There should be one of those places. One of those places should be able to do up to 24 by 36. I would imagine.
What side art is that?
Toki.
Yep, Toki.
So we're gonna
you're doing that because you want
to. I'm trying to plan this out, but yeah, it's Toki side art, so.
That's cool. I thought it was about a gay penguin, but I'm thinking about something else.
Well, there's a girl on the top right totally getting fisted.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Hey, I noticed something interesting about my marquee, which I'm going to be replacing, but I got this from Brad, and I thought this was like spot on perfect, other than it being trimmed. But okay, you see these things here, these eyes or whatever, slug things, and these are blue, and this guy's blue. Yeah, that's not right. They're actually supposed to be green. Like so, if you look at, I looked at other, but if you go back to the side art, that guy is green.
Yeah,
and these are green. So I'm like, what the fuck?
The hell?
All right, give me a minute because I'm pretty sure I have a new old stock translate.
Are you serious?
Give me a minute. I'll be right back.
All right. While he goes away,
dungeon of power.
So get this. You can stop presenting me, Brad. So you guys know ZF Camaro on Clav. He's been around forever. That dude's he's an OG on Clav. Anyway, he's got one of the. If you look up, if you find some old posts where he posted pictures of his arcade, his game room, is fucking badass. That was like, it's awesome. He's got. I mean, I'm not a big fan of blacklight stuff, to be fair, as far as like an arcade ambience, but his is pretty badass. Anyways, he PM'd me on Clav saying that he's pretty sure I'm waiting to hear back from him. He's going to check in storage, but he's got a new old stock Toki marquee, and he was all interested in a custom bezel. So there might be more than one person interested in a bezel, but so I'm hoping to get that. I can't find. It's really tough to find those marquees that haven't been like either cut to shit, and there's only like two really like not well known repro people out there that have done the marquee, and they're already the colors are a little wrong, and they're cut on the sides. So they didn't have. I emailed, it was like Arcade Overlays, and they're like, oh yeah, the one we had, the sides were a little rough, so we had to cut it off. And I'm like, well, fuck that. I mean, so I know they exist, but so I'm hoping. Maybe if GAC has one, otherwise I'm hoping ZF Camaro maybe for a marquee, and then yeah, I figured if I just scan the side art, then and that gets vectored or whatever, we can
do it at the highest DPI that you can too. Whatever they ask you, say the highest you can do it at.
Yeah.
Higher than 300.
What is it? Oh yeah, like 600 or higher. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can. It all depends on their system if they can do what they can do. Yeah. But now, Andrew, would you redraw over it, or would you just try to isolate like the blacks and try to make it like do a live trace or something in Illustrator?
If I was doing
a lot of work
for serious, then I would do live trace and then rebuild it.
That's what I was probably gonna do. What I do is live trace to see what I can salvage, and then go from there. And that's why if you have a really high DPI, you have a better live trace on it.
I always feel like those live traces create more work than.
Well, it depends, though. I mean,
Sometimes.
there's a point of diminishing return there where it's like live trace will get you, maybe even halfway there. If you got to start from scratch,
It's a lot of blacks to redraw.
God.
I
All
know.
those lines.
Right,
That's
Jim,
the thing I want the most. If once I get the blacks in, I could go in and just do all the colors.
So let me start with this. Like, now I know I don't have 2 sets of side art.
Figures Gak has it all.
The first set I had was a little bit wrinkled, so I found a second set that was in better shape.
Of course you did.
Well, I'm a huge fan of Toki also, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I got a machine.
Look for these in Gak's Clav restoration threads. That
Yes, right.
I've got.
So here's
like
the
orange whip. I've got 3 Tokis.
So here's the marquee.
Oh, it is green.
yeah, it's green.
Wow.
Hang on, let me.
So
there
what
we go.
did Jim? Do you think yours got left in the
translate,
sun or
though,
what?
so it's not on Plexi like you have, but
Is that sun
Right,
damage?
but no, but it was originally a translate anyway.
This is brand new. This is new. This was purchased as new old stock.
Hang on.
But why is Jim's blue? Do you think that was a
That's
color?
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Everything else is right. Everything else is right except for that. Like,
Yeah, why
really
would someone reproduce that and then just make them all blue?
Maybe it's the Canadian version.
oh
So,
yeah,
you know-
Gak. So yours does not look.
weird.
Can you measure it? The width of it
Yeah, let me.
or the length
I got
of
a measure
it, whatever.
tape here.
It's about a handful around,
Yeah.
and
Let's see.
just
Yeah, that
just
doesn't
long
look. I'm looking at the picture of a new old stock one, and it's identical to your. Like, it doesn't look cut.
Okay, 24 inches wide
enough. It's not Jewish.
and 9 inches tall,
That's what she said.
Okay, that's. Hang on, let me grab a tape measure.
which is probably like a Pac-Man size, I would guess.
Are we all measuring wangs now? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. So, ooh, look at that.
Look at that.
Let's see. Green monsters with wait, let me see if I can find him. Green monsters with blue mohawks.
Well, geez, it's like maybe
There we go.
Gak should get those scanned rather than Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't scan your shitty ones, Jim.
Yeah.
Look at that. Wait. Zoom in on the fist there.
Let's see. I can't see
The other way. The other way. Yeah.
Dude, look
No,
at
it's
that.
cut off.
Look at the texture. Zoom in a little bit further. Look at the texture on the
On the
shadows
nail?
there.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Oh, yeah, the lines.
Oh yeah.
Vectorizing that, you're saying?
It's like sketched in there. That is such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I have a Wacom.
Yeah, so it's not going to be a pixel perfect reproduction.
Yeah,
It'll be
have fun
close.
vectoring that.
So Mike,
Even
you're
the-
saying I should have it scanned and then send it to you, and you'll dial it all in.
Well, the problem is that with the bezel, the marquee, it's like a lot of those graphics are cut off. But when you look at the side art, like Jim, hold up your side art, you can see like
Yeah.
this entire fist, and it depends on
Right. That's why I was thinking that this would be the thing to scan, because then you'd have all the elements. You can have, you have so much more to work with.
I got the monkey changing and the light and the little spermy eyeballs.
Right.
Spermy eyeballs.
Yeah.
I can
Gak,
change
so
the
my
colors once it's in the system.
Right.
Yeah.
You
So
can
this is
also-
new old
and then
stock
it's-
as well.
You can
Right.
PMS
So-
color match those colors too.
Yeah, and then I would have to go in and I have to isolate those characters so that way I can move them around to build a cool marquee bezel, right?
Yeah.
I got to get the dimensions and all
I
that stuff.
don't
too.
know what a new old stock translate. What the width was. Gak, yours is only. I thought it was a lot wider than mine, but mine's only a quarter inch shorter. Mine's like 23 3/4 inch.
Yeah, mine's pretty much right at 24-inch wide.
Yeah, and the
9 inches
the
tall.
Robotron marquee, to go from end to end is like 24 and a half. So
Ooh.
it's close because there's black. There's you got the black.
My
plywood.
guess is if you measured your Miss Pack marquee in the background there, that they designed it to fit like Pack Miss Packs.
And probably centipedes and shit like that.
Yeah, it seems like that's like the height and width that most
But
of them
I
go
remember
to.
seeing Tokis mostly in Williams cabs,
Yes,
more than anything
right.
else.
And mine was in a Joust cab. The version
But
I had.
packs have those really, really tall marquees.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yes.
mean that's.
So they were probably building it for the
9 inches.
largest marquee
Combo.
thing that they thought would go in a kit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, but yeah, it'll probably work. I mean, either way, like if now is you've got your own Toki. Did that come off your machine then?
No, so I have a marquee that came off my machine, but it's really faded.
Okay, so you're replacing it with that one.
Well, I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just, when I see stuff and it's a deal and I want it, I get it. So that's how you just wind up with hoarding, right?
Well, yeah. I was just yeah. I mean, no one seems to, other than actually, no one seems to really repro, like no reputable people seem to repro shit. But I'm in a hurry to get this done, and I don't want to. I honestly, no offense to Rich, but I know he's busy as it is. I don't want to like have to sacrifice sending out my side art and whatever to wait on that. So,
but you can scan it and send the files to whoever you want. Then if
absolutely,
you need it, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's Rich or someone else, right? He'll take a scan file. And so if you need me to scan anything, just let me know.
All right. Well, I mean, if
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, I know you're a busy guy. I can run to FedEx or Kinko's, but if you have the ability to scan the side art,
you just want the side art only, or?
Well,
if it's side art, you take care of it.
I think the side art
marquee,
has everything the marquee has, but unless you see that it looks a little different, that's in the marquee that's not in the side art. Yeah.
I mean, Gak, if you want to scan both, that'd be.
Right.
That'd be awesome.
Is everything, all the elements, art elements that are in the marquee, are they all in the side art?
Yeah.
Then that's just the side art. Yeah.
And are they any bigger on the marquee?
Are they scaled different?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Because ultimately, you're going to rebuild the assets. So if you've got the biggest, highest resolution version of each asset, well, and plus, you never know. The marquee may be inspiration to help you with the bezel.
And Rich is going to want this shit too because he doesn't have any of it. So
right. And then as far as
the color matching,
does anyone well, whoever has Robotron or has a Robotron, you should get the dimensions of the bezel. Like not like I've got like the silkworm bezel that they threw in there that's cut to the glass, but like where the artwork ends, because don't you need that stuff? Like okay, it's 22 inches wide, but you need from
just tell me what example right now. So this the ape here, he's got a fist. How he looks in this artwork, he has a fist right now.
Yeah.
And in the side art, he has an open hand. So in the side art here, he's got an open hand. So that part's different, and it's scaled differently. So the side art is larger. The ape is larger than the one on the marquee.
Right. Size doesn't matter because it's going to be vectorizing and scaling.
Size doesn't matter.
So yeah, size. Look at the kitty cat.
It's just where you put it. That's what matters.
I got to talk about something before I get too drunk.
That's why I was trying to get this out of the way.
Too late.
Actually, I wanted Carrie here to hear this, but I could always.
She's in the chat.
She is. I don't know if she might be listening. I hope she's listening. Okay, so Canadian Arcade. If Josh, if he's still here or not, he posted this awesome video of this interview with the sound effects guy, David Thiel, I think is his name. I don't know if you guys watched it yet, but you really should watch it. I've only got a chance to watch the first, 10 or 15 minutes of it, but I did jump around because I'm definitely going to watch the whole thing. But this guy's responsible doing so many sound effects in arcade and pinball. It's really fascinating to hear his backstory on stuff. Like he did the sound effects for like the jingle and Kbit. So like, Woo! You know that part?
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was actually a jingle he tried to sell at for car dealers and stuff when he was trying to make side money, but nobody would buy the jingle, so he turned it into the video game. So there's like little weird stories like that. And as Josh was saying in chat that he did the sound effects for like the Tron pinball, a lot of other pinballs too. I'm trying to think what were some of the other ones. I can't think right now, but anyway, it's worth watching. It's really cool to see a guy that actually has from. Oh, I know what I was going to tell Carrie. He did all the music for Reactor.
Oh, wow.
Shit. Yeah, so I know Carrie really digs the
Gus said
Reactor.
David Thiel, is that his name?
David Thiel.
He was at he was at the Vancouver Flip Out this.
So it was So they got to Canadian Arcade. They got to record his entire his what do you call it, presentation, and then he actually gave him the PowerPoint, so they put that in with the video. So anytime he talks about something, it cuts to the video that he's talking about. So it's done really awesome. So it's just like you're there, you got to see it. So it's kind of like at a CAX event where you get to see a cool speaker. I highly recommend you guys checking this out because he's amazing. I can't believe all the different projects he's worked on over the years. I was just like blown away. So anyway, check that out. So
looks like he did Avatar. Looks like sounds for the Avatar pin.
Yeah, he tons of different pins and arcade games.
Yeah, I think he's usually at the Tacoma show every year too. He might have done.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So Carrie, I don't know if you heard this, so definitely check that out. When you're at your hotel or bored, you can watch it on your iPhone, or talk to Jim.
I put links to it in the chat.
Okay, cool. So, and I'd like to have Joel or even Chance come back, at least come back on the show and talk about their stuff because they do have cool stuff to show.
Right. I'm here, Steve.
Yeah.
You said Joel.
Oh, the other Joel.
You mean Josh?
Or Josh, I mean, sorry.
Josh, yeah.
Like I said, that's why I had to do
Okay,
before
Steve,
I get too drunk.
So, what else are we going to talk about?
Let me get my Devo hat. Hold on.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
It's about to get real.
Yeah.
real dumb.
He's still funny.
So we don't have a full room, do we? We only have 8 people in here. Why are people hanging in the chat if they where's Carrie?
Well, Carrie can't because she doesn't have internet where she's at, but somehow she's able to do her phone.
Yeah, if she doesn't
She's
have
got to
internet.
sue her hotel.
That doesn't
She like
make
spotty YouTube on her phone or something, maybe.
Uh-huh.
Hey, have you guys ever bought
Suspect.
joysticks from Groovy Game
Okay.
Gears?
I have.
No.
I'm considering. I'm going to post it in the.
I bought the Tron covers, the
Because
reactive stuff.
here's the thing. I want a leaf switch stick for Toki, and it's a Robotron control panel, so I need the tall stick. I actually
I think I have one of those.
Yeah, I see your Wicco back there. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, I grabbed one of my Turtles once to see if this would work, and it's like it sticks up like that far. Like
Let me go check. I think I have that one, an extra one. Hold on, let me go look.
Well, I mean, I've got this is just I'm just using this as a dummy, dude.
You
for
already
now.
have one. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So, I mean, I've
control
got,
panels
but-
wood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't the
So-
Robotron like
They're 4-inch. Like so, like these.
isn't it like milled out on the bottom of the control
Yeah, you
panel
need to-
for
you
it
need
to
to
sit up
mill it.
higher?
No, it's not. It's not.
On the Robotron, it wasn't.
Get on that shit.
No.
Huh, okay.
No, it
So
wasn't.
you need 4-inch sticks,
It's
is
milled.
what you're
It's
saying.
milled
taller
on the
stick,
top
yeah.
of it. There, and then there's a metal or not a metal, a plastic plate that goes over that routed area
Yeah.
on Robotron. But they use 4-inch sticks,
Right.
and the Turtles ones are 3.5. But I had to do a little research, and on the bottom of the Turtles and Simpsons, those are routed out on the bottom. And so even though they're only 3.5 because of that routing, it's only about a 1/4 inch shorter than than a Robotron stick when everything's said and done.
Right.
So they still but putting a 3.5 on a Robotron, they sit way too low because they're not routed at the bottom. So I'm like, okay, I need a 4-inch Wicco stick basically. Now I'm looking on eBay and there's other sellers and stuff, and everyone wants a fucking boatload of money.
Well, just route out the control panel, dude. Just route it out.
I've already had to hack that shit up though. There's not a whole lot. If I do that, I'm gonna, because of my Bondo and everything, I'm gonna risk compromising the integrity of it.
Yeah.
Because I had to plug like a bunch of well, I showed some pictures in Slack, but I had to look at you.
Look at the size of that shaft.
Well, okay, so here's where I was going with this though.
First time a man has ever been proud to show off his 4 inches.
4-inch, yeah.
Look at that.
That reminds me of before.
And actually, by the way, I have both your option of red or blue if you'd like.
I might have to take you up on that. But here's where I was going with
But
this
you ain't getting no
original.
Gradius bullshit for like another 6 months, so give it up.
I wrote that off a long time ago. I'm like, I'm never gonna see that. Nazarene's gonna come out with his Nintendo multi before Gak can come.
Exactly. Yep.
But
Why don't you just take that second daughter board I had?
because you didn't offer it to me at the end of the night.
I did. I said, just give me a price.
He was too distracted by tentacle porn.
Well, if it was during that time, then I just blacked out. Yeah.
And that's
I was not showing that to you to show off. I was showing that to you because if you were interested in it, you can have it.
Oh, I didn't
Is
get
there
that.
anything else you guys would like me to show you? You know, I've already shown like new old stock Toki stuff, 4-inch Wiko.
By the way, don't forget, make a note. Do whatever you have to do, Gak, to scan that shit.
Jack needs to open up a store.
All right, and here's some new old stock Kbit restrictors.
Oh, come on. I don't
find
even.
it
Now he's just bragging.
My Kbit
Jimbo, you need to play the porn music.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm trying to get some answers here.
And then Gak shows off his wares.
My tribute to Idaho right here. This is for Grinkers and
cucumber
for
sour.
Boise.
Nice.
There you go.
That sounds like ass.
I got never too hungover.
So good.
Actually, I'm gonna have to do one of those tonight. All right, so let me just finish, and then we can go off on our drunken tangents.
Well, we haven't already done it.
I've got arcade stuff to talk about. I know.
You lose. You get nothing.
Good day, sir. Yeah.
I just like to point out that Maggie is in the
Stop
chat again.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and coincidentally, Nagi, that's the exact stick link that I posted in our chat that Brad has not, shared. But that's the one that I'm looking at, and
for as few live chatters as we get, I gotta say we're pretty global with this shit. We got Canada, England, Australia, Germany.
Holy shit, Carrie's on too.
Yeah.
All right,
Chuck 12. That's not really an option.
Real quick, Jimbo. So that stick is the same stick that I've got in my Mizpac Namco.
Dominox.
I know, it looks like pornographic.
Orange Whip, can you scroll up?
That's
So I
kinda
read reviews that people were saying that this is a great replacement for a Robotron stick. But what appealed to me is, can you scroll just a hair down? All these colors. I'm thinking about getting that orange ball top because that would match the.
Oh
orange.
yeah, that would be good.
Isn't that the one you can change the gate on it though to 4 to 8? Right?
I think so. Yeah, you can.
I have that in my MAME as a 4-way.
So I'm thinking
It must be a leaf stick though. Oh, it is a leaf stick.
So
It's leaf. Yeah,
it's a lot of
why I'm
money.
using that one.
But it's brand fucking new. And then if I could get that, you can adjust the how tight the leaf switches are. But I like that. I was thinking about getting that orange because that would totally match the artwork.
Yeah.
Well, it says there's two different lengths. It says there's a short and a long. Oh, how long is the long
Yeah,
one?
and people were saying that the long is close to Robotron. Actually, one guy in the review said it's a hair longer than a normal 4-inch.
Couple washers.
Robotron.
Yeah, a couple washers. You could fix that if that's the case.
Yeah, so that's kind of the direction I was originally thinking of going until Gak started flaunting all of his sexy shit at me.
Right here.
That's pretty short.
That's
but quite
What's
bulbous.
Buff presenting?
That does not look like a 4-inch stick there.
Yeah, that's like a 2.5.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
A man proud to show off his 2.5-inch.
We're getting down to the short strokes.
Every
All
arcade
right, so I think that's all I've got. I think that's all.
I
I've
think it is a
got.
4-inch, but the wood is thick.
Yeah, is it more?
That's what
Is
she
it
said,
more
too.
than? Is it more than 3/4?
Yeah.
my wood is also very thick when I'm.
Because I
up-
think
The wood is
I think
thick.
most. Ah, fuck it. It's a moot point. I'm on the other end of this.
We already called
Normally,
it.
I'm the one interrupting everyone, and right now I
Jim,
can't.
I love you. I'm drinking deep.
Feel,
You struggling right now.
All
That's
right,
all.
Chuck 12 says the long is 3.4 inches.
That's
Ooh.
yeah, but the in the review, 2 of the guys said that the Robotron, that it was actually a little bit longer than a Robotron stick. So I don't know where they're measuring,
Yeah.
but I think that
But
might be the way
Gak
to
just
go.
measured it at the base of the ball, though, and that was definitely solid 4 inches.
The actual length of the shaft.
Oh yeah, no. This is
On a
all
Robotron,
I
it's
joined
4
just in
inches.
time.
Jack, what was the girth of that shaft?
Oh, it's pretty skinny. It's like
Turn on
half
words.
inch or something, maybe.
I did actually send them a message asking about
Looks like
the
somewhere
actual
around
length.
half inch, 3/8. So you gotta bang that on the sides to get that shit to work.
That's how that shit works.
Yeah. So that's
Hi,
kind of where
Carrie.
I don't know.
Hi, Carrie. We
Mine-
miss you.
Hey, Seabart.
I don't know about you guys, but mine's this long.
All right, so I think we have, the undisputed champion of been to the most fellow arcade hangouters' houses being carried tonight.
Oh, that's true. That's probably
she's
true
been
now.
she's
Why?
been to
Jeez, she gets around. I don't know.
yeah, she's been to Griffin's. She's been to Andrews.
Yep.
She's been to Jimbo's, obviously.
Yeah.
And as of tonight, my place,
Has she
Yep.
been to Keith's
Anywhere else?
house?
Keith's house. Yeah.
No, I've not been to Keith's house.
No. Okay.
Okay.
So she's been to John's house.
Yeah, that's true. I've been to
John's
John's
Arcade.
Well, okay. All right. Well,
Although he's not a hangouter, but
Right.
although he was
Yeah.
on once.
He was on once.
No,
there you go.
Yeah, actually, the night that I was not on, it was fun.
that doesn't count.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, then he would have been awkward. I mean, it would have been uncomfortable.
He came on and insulted everyone and then left, but that's okay.
Right after I give him the old splatter. Oh,
Hi,
no.
Carrie.
That one.
How are you?
Hey.
And then when I realized it was like a box set of my videos, I was like,
That's great.
There you go.
That was so good.
That was one of my top 10. 10.
I should have given Carrie my trophy light so she can examine the hotel room first.
Oh God. And I'm staying in a really. This is pretty cheesy. I'm staying in an
West Sac,
extended.
come on.
I know West Sacramento at an extended stay America, which are already a little on the dicey side.
You get a free donut in the morning?
Actually, there are. There are
Look at that! Look at that
I've been told.
sweet tasty unit below the window there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Look at that carpet. You can like bleed all over it and you can't even see it.
Oh my God.
Oh,
And people there's a sticker on the mirror in the bathroom that says talking about their no smoking policy, including no smoking marijuana.
Oh, come on.
I thought you were going to say
Crazy
that.
talk now.
Please clean the glass when you're done. Yeah.
Yeah,
They gotta
exactly.
actually say marijuana on there.
Yeah, it has a little pot leaf on it.
It's spelled right.
No
But it
smoking
doesn't say
crack.
no smoking crack pipes, so I
No,
think you're still
no.
good.
I know, right? Exactly. That's a given here.
Can I shove
Yeah.
it between the toes?
Yeah, and I'm right across from the CHP Academy because tomorrow I'm going to.
What state are you in, Carrie, right now?
I'm in California. I'm in
Oh.
Sacramento.
She's in West Sacramento, where you were just like a week ago, Griffin.
Oh, good old West Sac.
Yeah.
So
get
Steve
with
saw
it.
Gak and then left to her hotel room?
May I show the picture?
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
Yay!
It's like
Yay.
they're doing
That's
it.
a
It's
good
like you're
picture.
mimicking Gak and right there.
Yeah.
I like it.
I love how
that
much
was
down
my-
you
Do the Gak face.
That was probably 2
What
hours
the
ago.
fuck is
something like that.
pyros?
Yep, in a joust cabinet.
Never heard of pyros.
That's a really
It sounds
never
like
seen
all
one
my
of those.
ex-girlfriends.
I think that was one of those awesome cheap-ass pickups at...
They said it's the hottest game you'll ever play.
Hey!
Oh,
Boom!
do that Gak with the mix it with the beer and then do a game, you know? You got to do
I
it
know.
now.
Yes, I got to figure out what beer to match with that. Probably some kind of habanero spicy something or other.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Shock Top actually did a really good...
Cock top.
It was like a like a strawberry habanero one. It was one of their
Weird.
seasonal beers. It was so, I expected it to be vile. It came in like a the assortment pack. So inevitably something's awful in that. And
Yeah.
it wasn't that. That was actually delicious. And I went to try to find it.
A habanero
Elsewhere.
beer?
Well,
Yeah,
Griffin.
habanero strawberry or something.
so Griffin
Habanero
was
and
at,
strawberry beer.
Griffin was at Ballast Point earlier tonight. They did a habanero sculpin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I had like one sip of a bottle of that, and I could not drink it. It was just
No,
like
I
way
couldn't
too
drink it either.
spicy.
I did not
Oh,
like
that's
that
too
at
bad.
all. Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, my son was just laughing at me because I'm like, I cannot drink this. It is
Yeah,
way
it
too
wasn't
spicy.
good. It wasn't good. I mean, they've done some
That's too bad.
interesting flavor combos. They've done They do their watermelon dorado, which is
Yeah,
dangerous because
and
it's so-
pineapple. They did a pineapple one too.
Is that sweet?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
Jolly
well,
Rancher. It's like
Oh,
they melted
yeah.
a Jolly Rancher in it.
The trouble is, it's like 11%.
You're like drinking out of a cooler.
Oh, wow.
Knock you
I should give that to my wife.
Yeah.
Didn't we bring a 12-pack of Shock Top to Brofest one year? I'm pretty sure all those beers were still left over at the end of the weekend.
Yes.
No, it's
Yeah.
Yep.
They're still there now. a
They're
year and
still
a half
there
later.
now. Yeah.
Still working it.
Chalk Top is not good beer.
Even the bikers were like, "Fuck that."
It's a cheap blue moon. Is what it is.
And the trouble is, I think if you live in a state that has a lot of microbreweries in it, you get super spoiled. Super
Yeah,
spoiled.
They're everywhere.
I can drive 15 minutes anywhere in San Diego and drink some of the best beer in the country. You know, I'm just lucky to do that. And then you go somewhere where they're like, you know, like we go to Grinkers, for example, you know, and Steve tries to put on a nice spread of cheap beers.
And
for
everyone's
everyone.
drinking fucking Coors Light, and I want
I
to slam
know.
them.
You're looking at it like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want to drink any of this.
Yes, I know.
Well,
That's true.
my issue with a lot of, because there's a lot of the the microbreweries and the high end beers, but I don't really like IPAs, and all those
Yeah.
tend to be IPAs. So for me, it's like,
Well,
whoa.
you know what? That was true. That was very, very true for a long time, Carrie. I absolutely 100% agree with you.
But as
But
of yesterday,
the trend now is actually moving away from IPAs, and it's moving away from high gravity beers. There's a huge upsurge now in sort of the sub 5%
Session beer.
Session beer.
session
Yeah.
stuff,
Huh.
Yeah,
sours.
like I know you guys laugh, but Belching Beaver, they do
Yeah.
like half IPA and then half the other
Burger
regular.
Spider.
Oh my God, they're
That's
peanut
like
butter.
real close. Peanut butter beer, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
peanut butter beers.
Everyone kind of feels the way you do.
Delicious.
Whether they're just like, I'm over it. This is too much. You guys have gone too far. And so the breweries are reacting to it, putting out a lot of like lower alcohol, sort of smoother, sort of more experimental stuff where they're experimenting with sours and fruits and all kinds of different stuff.
Yay.
Which
Yay.
is
Yeah, I'm
This time
I'm a
of
big
year,
fan-
you're looking like
I'm a big fan of like the ales and things, ales, porters, stouts. The sours. Whoa.
I don't like sours.
I know
Oh my God, they're
Ugh.
awful.
Oh, I'm addicted to the sours.
Ugh.
sours
Yeah.
are an acquired taste.
Mm.
I never had a sour before until I went to Jow. I went, ugh. Jow. Jal gave me a sour. Here, try this. I can really get through it. It's just
That was
too
probably
much.
like a $30 can of beer, and you're like, "This is disgusting."
No. It started out good, but it's just constant sour. I'm eating sour candy,
It's gotta be
drinking
small.
it.
Well, and that's why usually when we get together with our beer drinking friends down here, we'll all bring sours to share, but it'll be like you'll be doing like a 2, maybe a 3 ounce at the most pour.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's like you get to try a bunch of different things.
Oh, so you share it amongst a group, okay.
Right?
So you're not constantly drinking it for half an hour.
For the most part, like I wouldn't want to drink a pint of the same.
It
sour
comes in
beer.
pints.
Yeah, it's pretty strong.
Getting one.
It just gets to be a bit much. I mean, you're drinking it for like trying to take it apart, like look at the flavors, the profiles you're trying to create, and it's not about just drinking a beer to sip. That's sessional beers. That's what we're talking about. That's the great beers for just drinking around, and like tonight we should be drinking session beers. If you're drinking 12% tonight, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Root beer.
I'm drinking Jack and Coke.
It's a real challenge for the breweries, It's just like, can you make a fantastic tasting beer that is 4% alcohol, because that's what people want these days. They want to. I want to go out. I want to have a couple of beers. I don't want to feel fucked up, and I want to be able to enjoy the rest of my day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Who are these people?
I still love IPAs. I love strong stuff. Triples and quads. I mean, those are great beers. But it's like, you can't go to a bar.
I just consume straight hops, and then I'm.
Yeah.
You're just
Quadruple IPA,
chopping it up and grabbing a straw and.
Yeah, that's what I call the Cinco IPA.
Yeah. Just using like a garden hose to suck it up your nose.
Well, I went to the Chevron across the street because I'm staying in West Sacramento, and the best I could find is the Newcastle Brown Ale.
Newcastle Brown.
Yeah.
There you go.
I felt relatively lucky. It had some flavor. Yeah, exactly. This was. But I'm like, ooh, what am I going to find at the Chevron? There we go. It had some Bud Light, some.
What did you eat then if you're on the road?
To be honest, Newcastle Brown is probably one of the best gas station beers that you can buy.
Like gas station weed.
To be honest, Guinness is still a fantastic go-to.
Yeah, if they would have had a Guinness, I probably would have gotten that. I like Guinness. I'm with you. It's a good.
I love that story.
I love that. In fact, I think this might have been the darkest thing they had. They had a couple of IPAs and a lot of the Modellas and Bud Lights.
A lot of people don't realize, but Guinness is actually one of the lowest calorie beers you can drink.
4.5, I think, or 4%, somewhere in there.
Does Guinness still have a marble in
Andrew keeps his womanly
I don't know. Guinness.
Orange Whip. Sorry, Mock. That's the can one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't it used to have something in it?
Yeah, there's a.
Yep.
Like a
Andrew, you got it. Right?
A fucking can.
Yeah.
It's
the nitrogen cartridge or something like that. But yeah, no, I mean Guinness is ultimately sessionable. It's a low ABV and low calorie. It's a great,
very dark
beer.
It's crazy.
People always like, oh, it's like having a meal, and it's like, no, it's not. It's like your fucking Budweiser has more calories and is a thicker, nastier.
Yeah, Dave.
Filler.
Oh.
I didn't say Bud Light because actually we can't go up against Bud Light.
I remember at Grinkers, someone at Grinkers, maybe it was Andrew or somebody. They go, "Hey, somebody just gave me this, and I don't want to drink this shit." It was a Bud Light bottle.
I didn't do that.
Was that you? Someone?
No, I didn't do that.
No, that was
I
me.
don't want to drink this.
Andrew bought it for me on accident.
Yeah, that's it.
Because he asked me what I wanted, and I was like, "Oh, just give me a Coors Light."
No,
he gave me a Bud Light, and I'm like, "That's fine." But then Orange Whip was like, or not Orange Whip, Mock was like hammered, and you're like, fuck it, I'll take it to Dave. Okay, I guess.
Because Dave was done with his beer almost. I took it over to him. He's all, yeah.
Dude, I remember that happening. That was not me that bought that beer. I'd be happy to say I bought you a beer, but I didn't buy the wrong beer for you. I remember that happening, and I remember someone showing up with a can for you or a bottle for you.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, what the hell?
I don't know who bought it, then. I don't
know who bought it either. It wasn't me.
Okay.
Maybe it was Leo. Leo was buying beers for everybody. He had the highest tab, I think, out of anybody.
Yeah. Definitely awesome. So, Leo, miss you tonight. Yeah.
Mr. Cheek Sneak.
Yep.
Mr. $100 tab.
I still can't
Make them work.
San Diego, too.
We should I'll get him a shirt that says Cheek Sneak on it. And it's like one of those like nuclear explosions in the background. The big old mushroom cloud. Just says Cheek Sneak.
Yes. And speaking of someone we need to hang out with in person at some point, Seabart. He's muted right now.
Hi-yo!
Seabart.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
You guys, okay. Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah. Ouch. Thanks, Jim.
Hey, I see 4 cabinets behind you. You should change your camera angle so we can see all 4 cabinets completely. Because now it looks like you're a collector.
Welcome, next caller. Oh, there we go.
Hey-oh. You should invite Clint over there. He'd play your Starship 1 all day.
Yeah, he loves that.
PC, the monitor's hose, though.
That's Atari,
don't
right?
call him that.
Starship 1 is Atari.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Starship 1's Atari, and it's fucking heavy. The 20.
Where's that word again?
There's no such thing as an Atari cabinet that's light.
Even missile command was freaking heavy.
Yeah, there are
some
no
reason
Atari cabinets that are light.
He's the Atari queen.
All Atari cabinets are heavy.
You guys see,
the
like,
games I like are the heaviest. Yeah.
Somebody posted about a week ago. I can't remember if it was KLV or Facebook. Maybe both. I was like Coin Op Warehouse, one of those places. They had a Atari 5200 kiosk.
Oh,
like,
I saw that post.
What you would play at like Sears?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. How much did it sell for?
They wanted like, weren't they asking like $1,500 or two?
Oh, it sold for more than that. I think it sold. I thought it sold for several thousand. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Stupid.
Yes. But there's
worthless, no good, goddamn good for nothing, son of a bitch.
Stupid, worthless, no good, goddamn freeloading son of a bitch, retarded, big mouth, know-it-all asshole jerk. Forgot ugly, lazy, and disrespectful. Shut up, bitch! Who fixed me turkey pot pie?
What about you, Dad?
No.
You.
What about you?
Fuck you, Dad. Well, anyways.
Gee. So, Carrie, you had a tremendous drive today.
Yes.
I think you drove like 4 hours or something like that.
It was ridiculous, and it should have taken me like 2.5.
Yeah.
It was absurd. I just got stuck at the office, and I just couldn't leave. And then I'm like, okay.
And you hit absolute most traffic every stop along the way. Yeah.
Yeah, and I hit it before I should have, leaving San Francisco, because I left at like 3. And it shouldn't have been that bad, but the fact that I got delayed there just hit every single today, man.
I mean,
but it was cool getting to see.
I really like the stream of traffic going on out the window behind you.
Oh,
right.
It's like
you got a nice freeway view.
Headlights just like passing past you behind you. It's almost like a game.
Yeah. It's like Frogger. that's
up. No.
Yeah.
Left and right.
Yeah. At the extended stay America, every room comes with a view.
Yeah.
It's true. Nothing but class here. It was cool getting to see. It was cool getting to see your
Middle America.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. It was cool, getting to see your little war room there. It looks, dare I say, it looks.
You were able to walk around in
Oh,
there?
my room here.
It looks bigger. It looks bigger on the camera than it does when you're actually there. I think my mind created a larger room.
We're talking about shafts again.
Yeah, I thought it would be. I thought it would be bigger.
Yeah, so just.
Well, sorry, Kimbo. It's big shoes to fill. I knew.
You never want a woman to say that to you.
Well, I think you should be sorry.
Yeah. So when Carrie came over, one of the first things I had to do was I had to show her where like all the arcade hangout magic happens. That's in this room. Yeah.
Totally.
It is kind of a surreal
there's
moment.
the BMX quarter section, and that over there is the arcade.
When we were in Denver, it was weird seeing Andrew set up. I'm like, oh my god, like it's a surreal moment. You're like,
It is
and
weird.
like your place, Carrie. Like
we're in the garage, Andrew's garage. That was a surreal moment.
Yes,
that's what it was like going into John Jacobson's basement.
Yeah, for sure. Same deal. Yeah.
It's the same when Gleek came here. That's the first thing he said when he walked in. He was like, "Oh my god, it's so much smaller than it."
That's something you never want to hear Gleek say to you.
And then he showed me his
so much hairier than I thought. Oh wait, no.
He hasn't come on in a while. That asshole.
Yeah,
Andrew's on to something. He said he's just really busy. I sent him a PM because I was worried that he hadn't been on in a while, and he said he's just really busy right now.
I think that when we do the San Diego thing or whatever, I need to bring Cards Against Humanity. If we do another night,
I want to play that.
I got a whole bunch of cards too.
We should play that, like, because if we have a night like we did Saturday at Denver, like that would be a perfect game to be playing.
That would be great.
I'd add a bunch of expansion sets.
Oh god, that'd be great.
I'll bring it.
There will be many nights in San Diego that we will have.
All three of
the
them.
Daytime that will be
all three
like
of them.
vampires. I hope none of you guys are allergic to cats, by the way.
I used to be.
Not me.
No, I just kill them.
A little bit.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, Griff, now is the time when they're young to have them declawed.
No, they don't do that anymore.
No.
They don't do that anymore.
My cat needs to be fully vicious because the coyotes around here are the size of German shepherds.
My friend used to date a girl that was a person that would do those kind of operations, like a veterinarian type, do like declawing on cats. And she said, what we do is we put the cat under, and then they would just take a clamp and they would just pull straight out the claws.
It's like
they don't surgically cut them out; they just yank them out, like pulling out.
It's like taking the first knuckle off your finger.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just awful.
It's a major surgery. It's not. It's horrible.
Fucked up.
And then they have no defense. They can't crawl. They can't run up trees or anything. So yeah,
and actually they become more mouthy. They'll bite much more quickly against people they don't know, and it's like because they get scared. It can change.
Holy shit!
Speak of the devil.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, folks. Jack, you want to read off the name of the people that were in our chat?
Yeah, right.
Up his butt.
Look at that shirt. How did you get that already? Or did you get
ordered early?
Oh, is that the
ordered early?
That's not the this whole game, is it?
For listeners only, people.
Holy crap! How did you get that shirt already?
I forgot what site I ordered from, but
oh, you didn't know.
I have mine on order from this old game. I support this old game, and we all should.
Well, I do too, but I ordered it before Rich even was selling his. So,
although I do find it very funny that Rich suddenly, after we did the Grinkers thing, was doing a distressed shirt. Very similar.
Yeah, that looks
to the one that he just did for us, but I'm sure it was very original.
Is that what it's called?
Like I bought it from, but
heavily wrinkled.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
No.
What's been going on, man? Have you had any pickups in a while?
You either need to put your mouth around the mic, or you need to show us your hair.
Hold it
I
back.
can't hear you until one or the other happens.
No, you know what? I just been lurking for many weeks with you guys. It's just I go to bed earlier, and I'm East Coast, and
yeah, I get that.
Excuses.
I don't know how Buffett does
Excuses.
Okay, we gotta start
why
the
I
show.
got a list in there.
yeah.
Buffett doesn't work 9 to 5.
You don't know how to do
Yeah,
what?
that's true.
No, Buffett works 9 to 5, just
9 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Yeah, that's it.
Buffett is the Dolly Parton of this podcast.
I guess.
Drink Best 5, another reason you should have gone, Gleek. You missed Buffett.
Yeah, you missed me, Gleek.
Yeah, Gleek.
I know. I missed a lot of things. So I had a lot of vacations that got shifted around.
Are you missing your hair? It looks like you buzzed up the back.
I know. Good Lord. Hell.
Getting all hipster on us or what?
Buzz, you know. I didn't buzz my ass yet.
Buzz his girlfriend.
That would grow back thicker. That's dumb to do anyway.
That's the voice of experience.
I mean, Buffett shaves his head every day, and look what happens.
So, Gleek, are you ever going to make it to a Grinkers or what? What the fuck, man?
When I quit my job, maybe.
Gleek, why don't you grow
so when
an
are you
ass?
doing that?
Yeah.
Great. You want to see my ass hair?
No, I said.
I think it's funny that it's funny Buffett makes it to Grinkers, but you don't. What the fuck?
Actually,
No, what's up with that noise?
No, you know what though? That was one of the first things I requested of Buffett. I'm like, say, why can't you grow an ass?
And I said it live too, didn't I?
Oh, it was
All right.
fantastic.
And,
It was
okay, I just remembered a special moment me and Buffett had Saturday night. I walked by him. He gives me a giant bear hug. He lifts me off the ground. Totally cracked my back. Like, dude, I cannot remember that in at least 20 years that where someone
And
can
now
actually
Gak
lift me
can
up.
limbo like no one else.
Yes, I'm like released, you know.
And that,
holy
that was a light hug. That was a light hug, Gak. You didn't even get the strong one.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Seabart, you're on the bucket list too, man. You got to make it somewhere somehow.
Hey, I
Oh,
made
no,
This shit won't go on forever. You gotta
Yep,
take it
true.
while you can.
I did
In
fun
2
spot. I
years,
did
boss is
shows.
retiring.
Yeah,
Then I
Gleek,
do all
we've
the
hung
teams.
out a couple
Yeah.
times. You've never
Yeah,
been to
I
Grinkers,
drove-
though, right, Gleek?
Yeah, I drove by Mock's house like 8 times. Never invited me over.
Well, you have to
know he's in the
visually announce
neighborhood.
when you're going to be around. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know you're there.
You got to buy some tote bags.
It's like midday on a Tuesday. He's like knocking on your fucking door.
I'm spraying him with water. Get away, go away.
Gleek, a sure way to score some points is, do you need a tote bag?
A tote bag.
A tote bag. A tote bag. Nice. I like that.
So, Gleek, you also missed
That's not
Denver. Denver, when we did the Nat tournament, that was a lot of fun, too.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, I watched all the fun. I heard all the fun. I've been following you guys all around. So
Did you watch the video that Gak filmed and I edited of Denver?
You could have been in a 3-way train.
yeah, some of that.
Oh, yeah,
That reminded me.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, with Jim on the pinball and all that. Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Hey, old Jimbo got 600 pounds of thrust there.
There was a lot of momentum, a lot of kinetic energy.
How many takes did you go through, Jim? Was it like 30 takes? Like 40?
I was hoping, but I could only sustain one.
I don't think you have the camera angle right there, Andrew. Let's tailor to another take.
Let's do it again.
I think Jim cracked.
I'm pretty sure I started directing the whole thing. Like, I want a wide angle over here. I want a tall fucking this, and
I am pretty sure that Medieval Madness could not have handled another take of that.
No, there was full tilt. There was a lot of tilting.
You got a sensitive pelvis.
Those trolls were crying.
So we get to.
I've got a flexible pelvis.
No, it's a cracked, crumbled one.
Jim's got birthing hips.
Oh, staring at my stretch marks.
Birthing hips. That was a good time though. Denver and Grinkers were like just awesome this year. I look back with fond memories on all that. So.
I can't help but say it, but like every time we hang out in person, it gets better. I just feel like it gets better every time.
Yeah. And it sucks more because it's like, oh god, now we got like 3-4 months. You know, I really want to just go out to Grinkers another like twice a year.
Well, I will say that's one thing that didn't happen at Grinkers, that we didn't have that kind of like just the small group of us hanging out together outside of the arcade, you know, that we had.
I wanted to do the nighttime photo. Yeah. We didn't do that though. Yeah, I still say that we do our normal Grinkfest, whatever, but we should just go out to Grinkers another time, like not any event. Just hey, don't even announce it. Hey, there's us and like, whoever's.
I'll talk to Steve's wife and say like, hey, make sure he's around this weekend.
Yeah,
we're just gonna surprise visit.
That would be so much fun.
It's just a hang. We're just gonna hang out at Grinkers. It's not an event. We're just gonna have a good time.
That would be fun.
Yep, that would be.
Yeah, I'd be up for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any excuse for us all to get together in one place is always good for me. Absolutely. Yeah. Denver, I had such a good time in Denver. It was such a great. I think the Denver house made it. I mean, it was that Airbnb that Carrie set up for us all.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was a palace.
They'd all just be together at the same time.
That place was like a fucking sanctuary.
Oh my god, I got so drunk that night. Oh.
And you know,
I think a nice house.
Buttershot, the quest for buttershots.
Oh my god, yes! Thank goodness we went on the quest for buttershots because that kept me from drinking for a period of time. Because when I came back, it was like, oh.
So the local guy, was that Yeti that was there that night?
Yeah, Yeti.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, this is so weird. I was like, seeing you guys in person, like talking, you guys are just like you are on the show. You know,
that may have been the biggest compliment I've ever received in my life.
I'm like,
it's such a big compliment.
Yeah. Like, I'm not a racist, but
the shoulder check.
One up with like, shit. Well, what did you expect? It's like, do you think we have characters that we play in this fucking show?
We don't roll any punches.
I wouldn't be playing this one.
all right, Orange Whip. Tonight I'm going to bait you with this comment, and then you overreact and
yeah. Newsflash: this show is scripted.
Yeah. I didn't get next week's script yet. Can you?
Brad spends dozens of hours editing each one of these shows. It's very subtle, though. He only takes out certain.
In real life, I'm not an English guy at all.
Yeah, right.
From South Bronx. Yeah. From the Bronx.
My pajamas are photoshopped. The sound effects are all post-production.
Yeah, I was gonna say, fix it in post, Brad.
All this behind me is green screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Buffett actually has a camera at all times. He's got the best-looking camera. We just decided to put bouncing animated boobs and.
Which we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, the webcam I use, you guys complain about the audio on it, so I can't use it anymore. I need a new webcam.
Your audio sounds good now.
Oh,
that's because I'm using my old analog mic.
Analog.
You better start that Kickstarter.
Not my.
I got a kid.
I was just thinking Kickstarter. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, I need a new webcam. So any recommendations that's not going to break the bank would be great. Send me.
I got one for you. I got one for you. $30, not even $30. It's a 1080p too.
No, send me a PM with a link to it.
Yeah.
I actually bought one too. Not to override my Logitech one, but I couldn't pass up on this deal. I just wanted an extra one.
So Gleek, are you gonna come out in March?
Ooh, we'll see. Yeah.
That's a no.
All
right. Can you leave the room and bring your wife in? We'll talk to her.
Yeah.
Working, man. It's a yes if I buy
your wife is cool.
Here we go.
Oh,
here it comes. Oh, no. I can feel it already.
Freeze dry.
that whole machine moved. It moved, I tell you.
Your poor hips.
Yeah.
I asked for it, though. I did, because I knew the reference. I'm like, I was thinking, and then everyone, Gak's like, oh, I'm on board with this. And what?
I knew what he was doing right away. I knew exactly what he was doing.
the proud cameraman for that show.
Yep. Ooh, I took one for
magical moment.
Jimbo's just waiting for it. Look at him.
Oh no, I set it up. I was like,
he perched for that one.
Yeah.
And Gak's looking right there at the
Gak's
camera,
looking
like,
at Andrew asking
he's like, Jimbo has no idea what's coming. You ready for this? Yeah.
Oh, Jimbo fully knows what's coming.
Like it's all over the threat.
Yeah.
It's all over the threat.
Look at that satisfied face on him.
He was like a peacock with all his feathers out.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, look at that face.
He's got the afterglow.
Hey, my teeth look really nice right there.
Look at that face.
And that's what Nat's all about, folks.
Yeah.
Getting rammed up against a pinball machine. Live out all of your fantasies. Maybe that's what our slogan should be.
That's how you play pinball. Lube is your friend.
I like the friction.
I'm sure you do.
That's it, Mark.
Oh yeah.
Where are you guys meeting at? San Diego?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna do
There's
a
going to
few
be
different things.
three locations to be announced.
Revealed. Okay. Yeah. Well, the one bonus thing about San Diego is my brother lives there, so that's
Nice.
I can always stay with them. So
What area does he in deep in regular San Diego or
called the place where that guy shot up everybody at the pool?
Yeah, he's in La Jolla, right?
La Jolla. Thank you.
La Jolla?
La Jolla, named after me.
Yeah, a lot of people mispronounce it and they call it La Jolla.
Yeah.
Like J-O-L-L-A.
La Jolla.
They've met me. They assume it's named in my honor.
It's just your
It's funny. I took Spanish and you just see Jola and you just say La Jolla. Because I even know Spanish. So it's a brain thing. I don't know. You have to think in your.
We're talking about the first time you walked into this room. Yeah, and the first thing you said, he was like, "Oh my god, it's so small." He's like, "Well, fuck your face."
Well,
I don't think Joel's is small at all, actually.
No, his garage is not small. It was an interesting house. So you have to climb up a hill and
the hill's a little.
You have to earn it. You have to earn it to get in this place. Yeah.
I don't know how you haul arcades in and out.
I don't. I pay other people to do that.
I'll hate your guts.
You've seen the videos. The videos.
They look at you with hate and disgust. So it's that guy again. No.
Hey, whatever delivery that company that is, he's like caused like 4 people to quit their jobs because of him.
Dude, well, so at one point I sold 6 games in one go, and they had to bring 4 guys just to hold them out. Yeah. There's 4 guys, and they were sweating their asses off staging 6 games in the street. And I'm looking at them like, I don't know what to tell you. Just the way it is.
You should give people $100 discount just for buying your games.
Well, this is where day number 1 of San Diego Nat is going to be. So.
Yeah, I really wanted to go to Denver more than Grinkers because I had like 20 places I wanted to hit up at Denver. So it's crazy.
Could have done it with Leo because Leo did about 20 places afterwards.
Cool. I know.
Leo stayed another week almost after the event.
Yeah, a couple days.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was quite the adventure. I don't know how you guys get all the time off.
Why you gotta stop spending all your money on those porn websites and funneling?
I gotta quit all that.
Yeah.
Oh. I gotta go down to like 2 sites or instead of 10.
Yeah, drop it down to 10 or something.
10!
Yeah.
I came back
I see Jim and I are also rocking the big cock shirt tonight.
Yeah.
the tit fuck shirt.
The cock almost at your chin shirt. Look at this. Like,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Kind of diddling around the chin level.
You gotta move it up. You gotta move it up and down real
Up
fast.
and down, like this.
Yeah, then you get a pearl necklace.
Is that it? Like that?
Don't I know it?
That'll work.
Ladies, please calm yourselves, okay?
Buffett
All
complicates
of
things
the
with a
ladies
beard.
Subscribe to this podcast.
Here's mud in your eye. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I have one of those. I should probably.
I know. I just saw that. I'm like thinking about
That's my
it.
repair. Actually, that reminds me, Carrie, on Thursday, we need to go to the GNC because I have no never two hungovers.
Oh my god, and I have so many at my house. Wish I could more easily bring some.
Hey,
Yeah.
we did smuggle. We
I don't
were
get-
able to smuggle like a few.
I don't get in
waiting
until
for the word
super
Trojan
late, so you need to get those. You need to get them in prep on Thursday.
No, that fucking store closes. Why doesn't Target carry them or like?
Yeah, because I don't get it until
Walmart or
like
something?
midnight or something. I think.
You
it's
guys have a
Walmart.
Bevmo? Because Bevmo carries them.
They do not
They
have
don't.
Bevmos. No.
They don't?
Nowhere
I
outside of
know. I could
California
probably
has
bring
Venmo.
Oh, it's California Bevmo?
It's California.
Thank you, Andrew, because
There's no way the Bevs
they're in
go.
La La Land. These people.
They are. They're like, what, Bevmo? You guys don't have Bevmos in every fucking corner? No, we don't have
Yeah.
Bevmo in every corner.
There's a
Carrie,
Bevmo for me.
if Denver had a Bevmo, we would have found butter shots.
That's very true. Yeah,
What was that place called we went to?
Yeah, they don't have a Bevmo. They've only been able to buy booze on Sundays for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Since July, yeah.
What was that place Andrew
That's
took us to? It was like
Yeah, that place was like
a liquor
Toys
store
R
or
Us
something.
of like alcoholics.
Oh, yeah, the Mollies.
yes, Molly's was
That
awesome.
place is crazy.
Bloody hookers.
Yeah.
It's like every single beer ever made on 2 walls or 3 walls, I think.
Oh, Mark, I like your
3 walls
slogan.
of
I gotta
beer,
find
yeah.
that now.
Then there was a guy that managed to drop a bottle of whiskey in the aisle while we were there. Remember that?
So Mock's subtitle on his lower third is can you
put a
present
Mott's lower third?
Look at no more for me.
Oh,
Yeah, Richard Simmons leotard.
No more for me.
Here it is.
No more for me, thanks. I'm driving.
Oh.
I just
And
noticed
also, by the way, Mark, we need to stop having events at your house because you don't want to go anywhere. Because I drove home drunk from yours last
that
time.
was your choice.
No. So next time we get together, we're not
So
doing
California,
it.
there's no BWIs? Oh.
Yeah, right.
We take turns. Whose house? Whose turn is it? I think it's Keith's turn next.
It's Keith or me. Yeah, one or the other.
Yeah, until
I
needs to
like
do
Keith.
one.
Where is I missed that guy.
Till, yeah, we never do it at Till's house.
No,
What's
Till's got some games. Go there.
Actually, I was at Till's.
Called in on our thing, didn't it?
I was at Till's on Sunday, and this garage is actually got that so full of games you can't play the games type of vibe going on.
Jack, you've got that, don't you?
Yeah, maybe. You know, Carrie.
Maybe.
Jack's waiting for the next CAX to unload another 12 games.
Yeah. There might have been
I
some
tried to
discussion
explain it to
about.
Carrie. I'm like, it's not really the games; it's all the other boxes of shit that's on the
Yeah,
floor, like blocking the pathways. Yeah.
Hey, each time, Gak, you pick up a game, I think, is that a project I want to get from him in another few months?
Actually, I have a question for Gak. Like, so in chat, I said to you, I was like, I've never seen you do any restores, but I see you buy a lot of games, and I felt like you were quite aggressive in your response.
I'm sorry if it was that.
Like that.
way.
So, No, I went to a safe place.
With your cat.
Yeah, I got my power animal and I connected with it for a little while. So I didn't feel so
All right,
challenged.
I'm gonna give you a virtual hug right now. I didn't
Right.
mean
Is
anything
that-
by
is
that.
that a
If I
thing?
said it came off.
He's gonna give you a virtual thrust against one of your pinballs.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We can have some virtual sex to make up. It's okay. Some angry sex. But
VR?
I honestly I was like, wait a second. Gak picks up a lot of games like Kalen level.
No way.
games, and I've never seen him.
No way.
restore
Gak
them.
picks up more than Kalen.
And
Bullshit, no way.
Wait. And people always joke about Gak and his cap kits. And I was like, wait a second. I've never seen this motherfucker restore a game.
Putting two and two together, right?
So that it was genuinely an honest question. I wasn't being like a facetious twat.
Yeah.
You know? It was like, honestly, because I've never seen any threads, and obviously you don't
I
do the whole.
do very minimal. You know, okay, so here's maybe a question of a different week. Like, where's the line that you call restoration versus refurbish? You know, like I do more refurbish. I feel like, you know, restoration, and that has different levels too. Like, you know, do you want it to look like brand new, or do you want it to just like look amazing when you just walk up to it? I don't know. It's hard for me to.
Oh yeah.
Put that into words.
Yeah.
But you know,
No, refurbished versus restoration. I think that's a valid line of.
You know, I feel like I'm just like a refurbished level person, but not in the soldering level.
That's the line.
Soldering refurbishes.
And I'll definitely say, as someone who's kind of been through the gamut of different stuff, I've definitely landed closer to what you're describing now, where I'll do enough to a cab to kind of get it back to a level of, you know, good representation and playability and so on and so on. But I've definitely moved away from that sort of hyper.
I mean, the first thing
analytical
like,
over the top.
They're in my freaking garage. You know,
Yeah,
I have like animals and pets coming in and out of the garage and stuff. You know, like I don't want it. I would not be able to handle it if I restored something to, you know, the level of what Jimbo does. Honestly, you know, like I wouldn't be able to handle having my pets around a game if I spent that kind of detailed hours into restoring a game.
I think as well, you get to a level where you have so many games that you just can't. That's
where I was kind of going with it.
Yeah.
You get to a point.
You can't do it.
Yeah, right.
You just can't do it.
You can't do it.
You just CUNT.
Go on, Jim.
But that's what I was kind of going at, is that I have 16 games and half are in storage.
Mm-hmm.
It's real easy when I have limited space and I'm getting one game at a time to be like, well, here's my project for the next 8-10 weeks, whatever, to put all that time into it. And yeah, I mean, I totally get off on how like pristine and stuff, but yeah, I know I splat all the time. No, but but the thing is that if I was picking up games like some like Gak, or, you know, had deals around me all the time, and I could pick them up, and I had the space, you know, there's no way I could put that kind of effort. Actually, I was just telling Carrie last night that with Toki, I'm definitely not putting in I feel like I'm rushing it a little bit, but mostly because of the weather. But with Cheyenne, I put a ton of time into, and a fair amount in Super Hang-On, but I'm not doing that with this game, even though I have vinyl and stuff to do. But I feel like I'm rushing this one a little bit more. But even so, it's a lot easier when you're getting one game at a time and you have little space. I think it's a different animal. If I was picking up like if I had like even like Carrie, she's got. I mean, she's picking up good
I knew
stuff
my
all the
name was going to
time.
come up.
Hey, I'm not. I'm not.
Nope.
No,
Nope.
I'm not
No judgment.
discriminating.
It is what it is. Yet you were out last weekend, and it was like, or the weekend before, it was like, oh hey, this came up. Guess what we're doing today? If it's okay with you, right? Wouldn't it be fun to drive down to Pebble Beach? Yay! And we just might maybe happen.
We still had a lot of success with projects. So.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. But yeah, they definitely.
But yes, I mean, if I was in that boat, there's no way I would be able to spend
really
that
kind of like
time.
When you get down to the nitty gritty, it's like, what do you enjoy out of this? You know, like, do you enjoy going into the tedious level of restoring things, which I completely respect, or do you enjoy like the chase of the game, the next game you're getting, or just getting it running? Just it could be a hoopty piece of shit, but you got it running and you're playing it now. Are you satisfied?
That sounds like your latest pickup, Carrie.
Exactly.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, well, no. I thought you were going to say me. Yeah.
No. But here's and that relates a lot to what we were talking about. Where, would you rather buy a cheap project and maybe save some money in restoring it yourself, or buy a game from a collector that's kind of turnkey, that's ready to go, and it's been gone over already, and you're
project. That's the whole fun of this hobby.
Well, no,
to some, not to everybody.
Everybody.
And the other thing, and Gleek, that's a good point, because, and we were talking about this earlier. I think a lot of it does depend on how long you've been in the hobby. Yeah. Because I'm getting to that point now, and I think Griffin's already passed this, but I mean, I got my first game in 2004, and that's when I joined Clov. And I've never owned a house. So I've never had that luxury of, I've got a garage space. I mean, other than when I lived with my parents, that's when I got my first game. I had garage space, but I've never had like this, like a big space to work on a game. And then, and I could maybe have more than, I do have a storage unit, but I could have more than whatever amount of projects.
Work in your storage unit.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Right. And now where I'm getting to the point now where I've already figured out, okay, after Toki, there's 2 games that I can comfortably still have in this row. And I want to get Lord of the Rings pinball machine. And so I've got pretty much everything all figured out to a T. So I'm getting to that point now where it's like, okay, if I'm seeking out my big blue Street Fighter cabinet this winter, I'm not going to be able to really work on it. So I'm getting to that point now where it's like, maybe it's worth it to just spend the money and have one I don't need to fucking dick around with.
It's glorious buying a game that you don't have to do anything to.
Yeah.
Because I've never done that. I've never done
that. Wait, pinball, Andrew.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's exactly.
I've never had that. I've never had that. Every game that I've ever bought, regardless, I felt like I've had to do something to. And
or you go to the next step and just have somebody else.
3 letters. OCD.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes.
Oh, I know it, Mock. It's there. Yeah. Especially monitors.
I know. You walk around Andrew's place. Yeah. Oh, I can't play that. Look at that monitor. Oh, my God.
Yeah, right.
Wait, I so wanted to cap that K7000
I've had 5 beers
in Street Fighter. I was so adamant about it. I started out as a joke, and then it became a serious thing later that night. I'm like, let's cap it now.
Let's just cap it. Yeah.
Just pull it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. But the thing about the cheap projects, maybe if for the folks who have like a good storage space full of parts, but I find that since I'm still in the process of saying, oh, look, I need this transistor, so it's going to take me a week to get it, and I'm going to have to pay, $5 in shipping to get this one stupid little part. That in a lot of ways, the cheap projects, you end up spending a lot of money. Yeah, on the little, okay, it's $20 here, and it's $7 here, and then it's $50 here, and you know, I'm looking at like the money I'm spending to fix up that Tempest I got, which was, you know, really cheap, but oh my God, that's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, this Toki is not going to be that cheap because I spend all this money on this vinyl, and then I'm talking about spending close to $50 on this joystick. I mean, shit, I'm going to end up having $600 into Toki.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But whatever. It's a game I love. Yeah, I'm with you, Gleek. I have a lot of I like having stuff to work on.
You like projects more than I do, Jim. You love working on that. It's your labor of love.
It kind of is, yeah. I mean, I don't have many other hobbies, so I do have a few. But
yeah.
I dropped the fighting game community a couple years back, and that took over my life for a long time.
Wait till you get a house, because then you'll have fucking projects to last your life.
I know. I've talked about that too. Like it's a never-ending fucking to-do list.
Never ending.
When we get a house, you're doing all the yard work. That's what I hear.
No, or hire someone.
Hire somebody to do that.
Hire somebody to do that shit.
Yeah. Then you got to do the other shit like.
Well, because I'm the one that wants the yard. I'm like, I want a big yard.
Fence. There's a hole the cat made in the screen. You replace that.
Sand the floor. Wax on. Wait a second.
Yeah, right. The constant meeting, all the shit that goes wrong. My dad came out this last weekend, and we spent at least 8 hours fixing leaky faucets.
Yeah, I can't wait to use that right side faucet. You know, now.
I know.
You get to shovel your driveways in the winter there, Jimbo.
Jesus. Yeah, no, there's no shoveling where I am.
I was so happy I went out today to sand the control panel on my balcony, and I realized that the wind over the weekend had carried away most of the Bondo dust. I was like, yes! I actually left my jacket out there a few days ago when I was sanding the control panel Bondo because I wanted the wind to blow off the Bondo dust off my coat that I was wearing. It was so fucking cold. It was like 20 degrees. I'm sanding Bondo outside, and it's like, It was almost as cold as when I was doing sanding those novelty machines, the CompuVan stuff.
I still have those.
Fucking cold.
They're in my room.
Woo! I still get people like, how do I work this stressalizer thing? I'm like, well, you have to put money in there. Oh,
I have 6 of them now.
There's no free play. Nice. Yeah, you got the lottery one, right? The lotto numbers one? Yeah.
That's a couple of those are projects, but I got myself a new project with Chicken Shift. I found a Belly Senti
I saw that.
Awesome.
That's a great game.
Chicken Shift. That's the eggs one, right?
Yeah.
So happy. Yep.
Yes.
Buttons left,
that's
right.
really hard.
I only ever got to play that one at CAX, and I fucking love that game.
Yeah, all the innards work. I have the Chicken Shift card.
Chicken Shift. Oh.
Yeah. When you come over to my house, you can play it on my main machine.
You have buttons to do it?
It was so cool as hell, though.
You have enough buttons?
I didn't hear that.
Does your control panel have enough buttons to properly play Chicken Shift?
It has enough buttons. I'm gonna put some more. I'm gonna drill some more just for you.
Dude, I hope he makes a custom control panel just for us to go over there and play it.
I'm gonna put a steering wheel and a gas pedal.
Every square inch is gonna be nothing but a button.
Put some big holes in the coin doors too.
Yeah.
You know, Gleek, do you know that those Bally Sentis, you can actually burn ROMs and you can get it every game?
The cards are, yep. But you know what? I really only want to
convert whatever card it's on it to Chicken Shift. If you want.
You can convert any game to any of them to anything. Yeah.
I'm gonna put in a gear shift for Chicken Shift.
I'll look into
put it in the fourth. Gak, put it in the fourth.
Yeah.
Major Havoc roller.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the restoration front, though, I left the room for a little minute there. I've gotten to the point where I literally work on like 2 rails. So you have your sort of easy touch up, get them just up and working and running type of deal, but also sort of reserve another a road or path where you now and again pick up the complete train wreck restore, and that for me right now is the Thief restore, where I essentially got the cab for free. I stumbled upon it because it had the Killer Instinct board in it. I paid $50 for it with a working Killer Instinct monitor, and it was a completely playable machine. So obviously it was a no-brainer. That's a $300 board right there. Right. Bring that home, recognized it was a Thief cab, and say, okay, this cab is worth restoring because it's such a rare game, even though it was completely gone. And it was like to the point where it needed basically setting on fire and walking away from. So I think you can definitely sort of split your mentality as far as the approach to the hobby to easy Windex type restores. Right. And then every now and again, you can take on a complete fucking basket case and say, yeah, I'm going to spend a year on this project over here. But at the same time, every time something comes in that is a 2-week restoration, then fine, push the train wreck to the side, focus on the small, easy resto, get that one up and running, and you always have something to come back to. And for me, that is what has worked out. That's kind of where I've settled into. So I always have a train wreck restore to go back to at some point, and Bubbles was like that. I mean, Bubbles took me over a year to do, just because it kept getting shelved by the other. You
stole fizzy lifting drink.
Ones, no, wait, no. What? So something to consider, something to look at. You don't have.
That's a good way to do it, though.
Game the same way.
Yeah,
we don't have a million machines to fix.
Right. Hey, Joel, I agree 100% like with that Joel, because it's like I try, and at this point I'm tackling like one big project a year. And then the rest of it's just maintenance.
Yeah.
But remember when we got Dan's tour and he had like a million machines that all needed restoration? It's like he's never going to get to any of that stuff.
No.
It's all going to just sit there.
Away. Yeah, he's looking at Mount Rushmore there.
Yeah, it's just like, where do you start, you know?
I have to admit that I really envy you guys with a ton of projects.
I gotta sign off and go
I really admire like Gak, Carrie, Andrew, like any of you guys that have like 20 or 30 plus games, and you have maybe like 5 or more projects simultaneously, and you can toggle between them easily, because like this is how I've always been, and I've always been I consider myself a linear person. I need to finish project A before I move to B. I want this done, and then I move to this.
ADD,
what?
ADHD.
No.
No, the ones who have multiple projects.
No, OCD. It's not ADHD. It's OCD.
OCD. There we go. Sorry, acronyms everywhere.
No, OCD doesn't mean that you like finish one project and move on to another.
Well, I said ADD because ADD people jump to have no focus. Right?
That's the opposite of what he has, though.
Yeah,
I know. I'm not saying.
Thanks, Brad. I was like, wait a second. But what I'm saying is that I consider people like, okay, for me, I consider myself to be a linear person. I need to go from point A to point B. For people like Carrie and Gak and maybe Joel, I mean, like people that can just toggle between like half dozen projects. I think that's pretty amazing. I consider them to be very dynamic. They can always change their make changes on the fly and go from one project to the next. For me, I like I did Super Hangout. Now I'm working on Toki. Even though I have these projects, I don't want to start both of them at the same time. I did that once. Yeah. I've only done it once in this hobby. I did Frogger and I did my Centipede Cabaret at the same time, and it was tough. Like I didn't want to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do, like I said, for myself, I don't do restorations. I do refurbish, I guess you'll call it.
You get games working nice.
Like before CAX, I had like 5 or 6 games I did all at the same time. That was insane. I don't know if I'll ever do that again. and none of them were restorations. They were all just like make the game work, clean it up, make it look nice, you know. And it was still too much. And I wish I could have forced myself to just do one at a time, you know. But we each have our own levels of things we struggle with, I guess, right?
and Carrie, you know this firsthand, but like, I think part of these both my personality coincides with this whole linear thing where I like to finish A to go to B. It's the same with it's a plan, and okay, here's the plan: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and all of a sudden, okay, B goes wrong. Oh shit! Now what I do? My plan is ruined, and I start freaking out. And I have a lot of trouble with like if we make a plan, we're doing okay, we're gonna go to dinner here, and then we're gonna do this and this, and all of a sudden, oh shit, there's no reservations at this dinner. Now what do we do? And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh fuck, I have trouble changing things. I'm very set. Like, I make a plan, and it has to go that way. And if it doesn't, I flip out. Like I go nuts.
Fish sticks on Friday. Sticks are on the floor.
I know that's funny because actually, when I found that cabinet that we picked up, that was my thought was, oh shit, this wasn't part of the plan for today, but. We'll see how this goes.
Let's get on to the.
But that's different. That's different because I'm just going by your plan. I'm not making the plan.
Okay.
It's different.
Yeah,
when I come out to your place, I'm on vacation, so I'm just going. I'm flying by the seat of my pants. You just
nice. Woo! So I can, and it's been a couple times that I've done that where I'm like, oh hey, I'm picking it from the airport. Guess where we're going?
Nice.
But you know, I know it's true. What's
That's funny. Pick them up, drive to.
Just a quick stop on the way home.
We're going to pick up 2 pole positions.
But you can't wait on this shit goes away if it's a good deal. And so, but speaking to your point about and we've talked about this, just not in front of them, in terms of linear versus having multiple projects. For me, I would prefer to do it that way, but it's like I feel like I can't, when there's a deal that pops, when there's something that pops up, it's like I can't just be like, oh well, I'll just wait for this next.
Right.
It's
easy. I think it's easier for me because I have limited
space that I wanted to kind of
for me to be like, hey, I can't do this right now because I just
So the way that I deal with it is I do compartmentalize. So if you looked in my garage, there's there's the double row or the row of working games and the pins. And, I try to group all of my working stuff together. And then I have the projects. And for my project things, I'll usually have a couple things going on at once because often I'm waiting for, parts to come, or I've hit a wall and I don't know quite what to do next. And I need to turn to somebody for assistance to be like, somebody like, you guys or Jim or something to be like, hey, how do I build this, harness this, for the joysticks to get to the, anyway. So for me, it's like it helps to have a couple things going on at once, but there are projects that I'm just like, I can't think about this one. Like this, I was telling Gak about this today, like Zookeeper. The Zookeeper project I bought from him, I need to not think about it. Because it's like
that's so at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, it's on right. So there's certain things that I'll get, maybe like the new cab that I picked up, I'll get excited about. I'm like, oh, I really want to, dig into this, and I want to prioritize this and that. And it throws me off when I go to do something, and then it's like, oh shit, now I need to wait for this part, or I don't know how to do this. Or the worst part is having something in the working set that thing goes wrong, and then I feel like I want to get the working thing going before I go back to project land, and then that just pisses me off. Because I want to, it's like, okay, I have my, today I feel like, capping this monitor. I feel like messing with this power supply and seeing what's wrong with it. But yeah, I just have to compartmentalize and just pretend that the Zookeeper project does not exist.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
so your zookeeper is like Stun Runner for me.
yeah.
So that's the one like Lewis. He's like, hey Gak, so you ever get to that Stun Runner? No. I unloaded it in the garage and it sat there, for the last 4 months now.
Yeah, it looks great.
Done, not running.
Yes, in your cock corner.
Yes, right.
Unbroken.
I understand the parts thing, Carrie. Try living in Canada.
Oh, that's true.
Stun runs.
Because I bet everything's more expensive and
I got the stun
I
run.
ship it to the States and I have to go pick it up.
Bad case of stun runs.
I guess I'm going to move the spotlight a little bit to Orange Rip right now since you just talked. How about your situation?
What?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're overwhelmed with projects, or where do you feel like you are with getting games working and buying them and all that?
Well, I haven't been to my storage in a little bit, so I don't know what the situation is.
So you just
there.
throw them in there and forget about them, kind of right now, right?
That's what I've been doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good to have you in the storage clan. No.
So,
damn it. And my wife suggested that shit, by the way.
Okay.
She's tired of that shit being in your
I don't know
house.
if it was like that was part of the 12-part plan to get me out or what. I don't know.
Get out of my house.
Starts with the game, and then pretty much you find that your mattress is there in the storage
take
unit.
your office stuff and move it out there, and your car, and everything you own. Just go ahead and move it out there.
And
hey, sorry, Orange.
And your dog. I discovered that.
By the way, you just got served.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
So right now I'm looking. I found a space that's a decent rate, but it's not available till June.
For an arcade, you're saying?
Yes. So
nice.
So the plan possibly might be to jump on that and take it, and then now spend the next 6 months getting all the games up to snuff, and then wrapping them all up. So once that time comes, then I'm ready to go with the games. A lot of the games are ready to go.
Wow.
A lot of the games are, especially lately, like a lot of the ones I've been buying are fully working.
They've already been,
Yeah, I mean, they're all going to need a really good cleaning from being in my storage and stuff, but I mean, that's what it is. So yeah, because fuck the building owners here, the lease rates are good. Like literally, I looked at a space a year ago, and I didn't take it because the layout wasn't the best, but it was $17 a square foot all in. And I just talked to the guy because it's coming available again, and he wants $29 a square foot all in.
Wow.
So in 1 year, that's how much the fucking prices are going up.
That's insane.
Yeah, and at $17 a square foot, it wasn't fucking worth it for me. So it's definitely not gonna be worth it at $29 a square foot.
Yeah.
So I found a good one. It's 6 to 8 months away is a hard thing to kind of bite on it now. But if I don't do it, then I might be fucked forever. So.
That sucks.
And you don't have to deal with the political issues have been.
I've already got
out.
it. I've already paid. I paid $1,400 for a fucking permit. I'm just looking for space.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the right zone or whatever, right? City limits.
In this city, it's basically along any major corridor in this city. So as long as it's on a major retail street, it's fine. And this is not in the spot I was looking for originally, but it's in a space that's not far away. But it's also on the same SkyTrain line, so people can come from Vancouver or anywhere to get to it. So
that's in Canada.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean the storage is. I need to find new storage because the storage I'm in now, it's got water in it now. So yeah, it's not very much, and it's not on my side because it's basically a barn. And I'm on the right-hand side of the barn, and another guy's on the left and in the middle, and the water's always been on the left, and it's starting to creep towards the middle, so I don't want it to get over to my side. So,
Canadians' version of storage units are barns?
Yeah. Barn find.
We don't have those in America.
Who'd have thunk it?
No, we have storage units, but I'm not paying. I've got over 1,000 fucking square feet of storage, so the cheapest way to go is a barn.
I know I'm getting raped on my storage unit. It's only 5 by 20, I think. 10 by 20.
I pay $200 a month for 1,000 square feet in the barn.
So I pay the same money that you're doing for 150 square feet.
Hence the reason why I'm in a barn and not in a storage unit.
And you got water. And pigs and chicken shits.
No, the barn's completely empty. It's concrete floors, and I don't even know if it's ever had animals in it.
So the storage unit I'm at with my overflow, my son, my youngest son, who's considerably taller than me, he could reach his camera up to take the picture. So it's like corrugated steel walls, right? Yeah. But the roof line has an angle, and there's a gap at the top. So if you could be tall enough, you could look over at the neighboring storage units.
Oh no!
So
how big
is yours, Jack? He took pictures of our neighboring storage units the last time we were there, just to see what it was.
How big is your?
Are you freaking kidding me? It's like they're paying that much, and they got like a mattress box frame and like an
exercise bike.
That's it. Like basically junk. I'm like, you're paying $100 a month.
How big is your unit? Storage unit. What size is it?
I have a 10 by 10. And my neighboring ones are 10 by 10.
Damn.
Yeah, 10. Bye. About 100 square feet.
All right, so okay.
All right, peeps, I'm heading out.
All right, Griffey.
Griffey's been with us a long time tonight.
I know.
Yep.
Holy shit.
You're in for the long haul tonight.
Must be the weed.
Try to be more man.
Must be the weed.
Bye, Joel.
All right,
I said good day.
Kitty cat must keep him awake.
Yeah, what's your cat's name? Did you say already?
Joel.
Ripley.
Italy.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
No, Ripley.
You beat me to it.
Like Italian?
If I ever get another cat, it's going to be called Newt. So
I just watched that recently.
all right, you sexy motherfuckers. I will see you
tomorrow.
on the flip side.
Bye, Joel.
Chat to you soon.
Hasta la pasta.
Be sure and tell them Large Marge sent ya.
Nice. So my sad news is I got rid of my karate champ.
No.
All right, kick him, ban him.
Kick him, he's out.
Gleek,
my friend has kids.
If you had been out to Grinkers, I made it almost to the end of the fucking game.
I'm pretty sure that the dollar value has gone up so much since we've talked about it over the last few months.
Sorry. It went from a $250 game to a $300 game. Damn it.
Exactly.
Whatever. I got Galaxian for it.
All right. Well, man,
I would rather have
my
karate
man
champ.
will be jealous.
Nah. Well, his kid really wanted it, so I traded it. I don't care. I never played it anyways.
No, I got Gleek. I got to what was it? Level 11. At the dojo, and the CPU, your status changes to champion, and the CPU,
oh my God.
He moves twice as fast as you. You
Yeah,
can't
it was
do it.
ridiculous.
Actually,
He was like tweaking out.
Yeah, I don't like Karate Champ. I like the other one where the Kung Fu Master, where you go through the levels and stuff.
Yeah,
that game I like. I think I bought Karate Champ Versus for like $50, so it doesn't really matter to me.
I'll send it my way.
It's already gone.
Fuck you. All right, kick him into it.
I went on YouTube. I went on YouTube to see if anybody's beaten Karate Champ and to watch long plays. And Jim, everybody's the same boat. They get to the dojo and they get their ass kicked right there. I haven't seen anybody be able to
the dude's
beat
like tweaking out. He's just like,
it goes back and forth
beat
really
him.
quick.
All right,
I beat him mock. I beat him at Grinkers. I beat him once. Like, I pulled Andrew over. Like, watch
Terry, you still have one at your place?
I do.
You have to.
Yes.
Okay.
You have to.
All right.
Yes.
Next time Jimbo's out there, you guys please just spend like 2 or 3 hours, whatever it takes.
Hey, and by the way, I did.
And film it.
Film
it.
Nice.
Or you could do it live on my main machine.
You've got enough joysticks, right? You got like 10 or 12 joysticks on that control panel, right?
Me too. Yeah. I got two.
Dak, I was out at Carrie's. I was out at Carrie's was it 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, okay. And I'm pretty convinced that Steve's Karate Champ at Grinkers is on an easier difficulty than Carrie's, because it's the same version. They're both versus versions where player versus player.
I think the non-verses are rare. Verses are more common.
You might be right.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it's so much more fun that way.
I've never seen a non-verse one before, ever.
I have
I've seen, I've seen for sale, but I've never seen one.
Yeah.
The thing is, they both have 2-player
joysticks.
Yeah,
like
they still.
Both of them have 4 joysticks. You're saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Strange.
Okay, that doesn't make sense then. I thought the whole point of
That
verses
seems like a dip switch setting.
Yeah, well, the thing is,
it
I thought the whole point of verses is to have 2 set of joysticks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but Google image it, because that's what I did, and I'm like, wait a second, I've never come across the actual cabinet.
Yeah,
but I was just looking at images, but anyways, I'm pretty sure that Steve's difficulty is a little bit easier because like on Carrie's machine,
I'm not easy.
Lucky. I looked at the dip switches, and hers is set on the normal settings, right? And I've never made it to that level. I've come close.
Well,
but
her normal is much more difficult than your average normal.
That's very true.
It takes more than one.
Whatever that means.
Yep.
Yeah. You need some singles. But
how many singles?
Well,
make it rain. Make it rain.
Yeah.
How big do these things?
But apparently there's 12 levels on before the game cycles, and I got to level 11, and the CPU is moving literally twice.
That sounds about right. 12 cycles per year.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yep. Yeah.
Once a month.
Yeah.
Yep.
Once a month,
Like
you don't even play
clockwork.
that game.
Things just go haywire during that one. Things just tweak out. Yeah.
The CPU's running like twice the speed normal. And
Yeah. The red
Yeah, the
guy.
whole
The red guy. Yeah.
red guy.
What does
Can I wear pads?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, that's bad.
What? Yeah, pull a string. Yeah, no.
Hey, Steve Wallard's in here with us.
Steve.
Oh, and YouTube.
Hey, with a dying battery, it looks like.
Steve from wherever. Albany, yes.
Front wire on YouTube yet?
Steve from Albatross.
Mm-hmm.
Steve.
Who was the other guy that always had a dying battery on his phone? Was that Jacob? No.
Jacobson.
Oh shit! We missed mute. I didn't even see you.
Remember, there was always a guy that tuned in and he'd be like, "Sorry,
Yeah,
my
I've been
phone is
looking on
at
the-
4%."
Yeah.
4%. Nagy show.
I have to get specific.
Yeah, Nagy, that was awesome.
That's
I
rare.
wish some of these guys. I wish like the chat on YouTube they could just like pop in and talk to us.
Is this show
No,
number
I mean,
99? Is our
That's
next show
90.
really
99, dude.
99.
Yeah, and the question that Brad has for next week's show for the 100 is actually a really tough one. It's
That
like
was
your
mock.
favorite-
That's
I haven't
good. Yeah,
watched it
that
yet.
was a good suggestion.
That's a really difficult question because I'm thinking
Yes.
about like
Oh wait,
I haven't
put it,
seen it
eating
yet.
your own ass and
I
John
haven't seen it
Jacobs.
either. Put it in our chat. I don't know what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
I haven't seen it.
I did.
Play mock.
I did.
We
put
should
it in
have
the chat.
like
That's-
everybody.
I just posted that would be a good question to post.
Yeah, that's a great
but we
question.
should have
That's gonna be
everybody
end up. You know what? That's gonna end up being like a
That's gonna be the
Grinkers question where it's like, what were
Yeah.
your
Damn.
favorite memories?
That's going to be the whole show. Yep.
It
Yeah.
totally
This
is.
is so damn which works for our 100th anniversary.
I know that, Andrew. That was my reaction.
We have to bring the Kleenex for that one,
man.
or what? And I'm not saying for
Well,
crying.
yeah.
I'm saying for the.
Well, actually, I was thinking about both.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking
I
about
might-
sperm eyes.
I might
earlier with,
lactate.
spermy eyes, wasn't that what we called it? The spermy eyes. Ah!
Yeah,
My ears might bleed. You know,
good
no,
thing the
but-
girl.
Yeah,
And also,
go
Brad's
ahead.
going to come up with the verbiage for our Craigslist post.
Yeah, which
Yes.
is a great way to kick off our 100th episode.
Yeah,
Right,
something
yeah.
fun, something different.
I didn't hear.
Joel's
Have we
pretty much
talked
got
about?
it, I think. We just need to copy paste it to all of us.
Yeah.
All right, so Carrie missed that. So we're all
what's the
gonna do a looking for a wanted to buy ad on Craigslist.
And Carrie, you better keep that shit out of my area. I own Sacramento, so keep your fucking shit out of Sacramento.
So fucking right in the smackdown.
She's always trying to move in on my shit.
Hey, Jack. So,
I don't care if it does
speaking
take
of
me 4 and a half
locations,
hours in
did
traffic.
you get all your? Did you get your pictures of Forgotten Worlds? Did you get all your questions
I
answered?
did. Hopefully, I took a bunch of pictures.
I can take more as needed.
Thank you.
So.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about the control panel, not your junk.
Yeah. That fucked up control
Those are the
panel.
pictures you guys send me.
Yes,
Forgotten penises.
So wait, so what was?
Forgotten
Yeah, so I've lots.
schlongs.
So I've
It's been
lots-
about
I've lots
10
of
years
pictures-
since I've seen mine. Wait. What?
I've lots of
I
totally missed that.
I've been drinking.
Do your ears hang low? Do they wobble to the ground? Can you tie me in the night? Can you tie me in the bow?
It's the awning.
Your shoulder like a cock.
That weird little shadow you see on the ground. And you're like, what the, where the hell that come from?
Yeah, thanks, Andrew.
It's the awning for the sword of truth.
The awning. It's an awning.
I love this time of the night. This is the best time to go.
Oh, boy.
And to our credit, we did talk a lot of arcade shit tonight.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
almost nonstop. Yeah.
So wait, so what's the Craigslist thing?
All right,
We're
so
doing-
Joel was talking about how he has great luck with posting the wanted to buy ads on Craigslist.
Oh.
So for each of our areas, we're going to post for the next month a wanted to buy ad that he's going to craft.
Oh.
He's had good luck with, and then we will report back every week for the next 4 weeks. What kind of response? What kind of game?
No obligation
So we
to
get-
buy any of the items.
No,
just
you don't have to buy
see
anything,
what
but-
Yeah, what did you get? Yeah, what did you get offered?
What
So
are
wait,
they
so yeah.
offering?
So he's crafting it, but we get to put in what it is that we actually want.
Yeah, so we're actually all going to post our own ads in our own areas.
No, they have to be the
Okay.
same ad, Carrie.
And it's the
Yeah,
same
we're
ad.
doing the same
Yeah.
ad.
Same ad.
But wait, so what is this like a general like would like to buy
Like want to buy on Craigslist.
arcade
buy
arcade games
Yeah,
Yeah.
working
thing
or
versus
not.
like
you know,
I want to buy a Robotron.
We'll pay cash. We'll
No.
this is all-
It's going to be like a general, like wanted to buy anything coin op kind of question.
Hmm.
And then
Okay.
see what kind of responses we get. And is this an effective way to get more games? Yes or no?
Oh,
For
okay.
Good deals.
Come on.
Because Joel said he got an offer for a Dig Dug and a Tron.
He
for,
bought it.
Oh, he bought it.
Yeah, I know he bought it for what was it, $400 or something?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
200 each.
And
Tron
you know,
and Dig Dug both for 400 total.
and the only thing wrong with it was the what do you call that switch? in the
Interlock
back?
switch on
Interlock
Tron.
switch was not turned on.
Well, he got his Tron through Kalen, unless he got a second
No, that
Tron.
was his.
That's
Yeah,
the
he's had at least 2 Trons, if not
Oh,
3.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna all use exactly the same ad and then see
Got it. See
who
where
can
it-
get the best responses from.
So we just got to use like a generic graphic of like some arcade machines in our room.
Yeah, so he's going to provide the pictures. He's going to provide the text.
Okay.
verbiage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the verbiage that'll all be provided by him. The idea is we all use the same one.
Yeah,
Got
that's
it.
kinda cool,
See who?
actually.
Okay.
I think
And
I'm
just-
the only one from Detroit on this show. So
I think all of us are. I mean, so
Well, except for me and Gak.
well,
We have
all right,
split.
but that's
and Joel, what kind of?
that's a
Well,
little bit
we
outside your
totally do.
immediate area.
You can,
Joel,
We totally do.
Terry, you can totally own San Francisco Bay Area, whatever. Over there.
Yeah,
You have like a dozen outlining areas.
And Joel's my competition.
Yeah.
I was say I'm pretty sure the
Yeah, that's
SoCal
true.
guys are in more
Yeah.
trouble than you guys up there.
Yep.
But either way, it's still people same ad, like people
Yeah, that's true.
responding to you guys individually.
I'll
and-
add boobs to mine.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
All right. Well, obviously, we have a winner. God
Yeah.
damn, it's not fair.
I'm
I
gonna
know,
totally
I think
add
another-
that to mine now.
I think I'm
Right.
not allowed to do that per the
Dude, I will find.
thing, but
Buffett
it's
is
an experiment.
Weird.
But isn't that the thing though? We can't add anything to it. It's just going to be
Right. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
needs to be the same ad.
verbiage.
Okay.
Yeah, just to see what everybody gets.
All right.
You know, you can't say stuff like "I'll give you a handy for a Dig Dug."
I thought I wasn't supposed to do those anymore.
Oh, yeah. Oops.
Well, it's a different word.
It is. Sounds the same, but
well, that's why they call it rhymes. Yeah.
Busta.
Oh.
Busta.
Steve, are you wearing your hat yet?
No, I should be wearing it.
I just realized that I'm on like my fifth.
Pac-Man's wearing my hat.
I poured the same amount of vodka into a smaller grass.
What are you drinking there, Jim? Horchata?
I'm doing.
Yeah, right.
I love horchata.
Those adult lemonades that I normally do over the course of my keto diet.
Yeah.
But
keto.
Yeah, but I'm on like my fifth. I did the never too hungover, but I'm still.
Yeah, I might have to do 2 tonight.
A keto.
I switched to cranberry and vodka.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Gus Scott.
I had like 5 of those before Grinkers on Thursday night on my flight. So I was in first class. And I'm like, holy shit, we get free booze? Keep ordering it.
First class, baby.
The dude next to me was like,
booga.
I'm like, what's included here? And he's like,
everything. Everything they can possibly bring you. Everything they have. It's free.
He orders a vodka cranberry, and I'm like, that sounds pretty good.
You can order a double.
So I just kept ordering them, and I had like 5 or 6 before the flight landed.
Nice.
And I was feeling okay, and then I'm like, oh shit! I get to the Lyft lady picks me up.
Uber?
And no Lyft.
Same thing.
Jesus. Is that a question, Mike?
So she picks me up. I'm making small talk. I'm like, fucking just drive faster. You know, I get to our Airbnb and drop my shit off, and then I literally jogged. Like I started running. I just bolted towards. On my phone, I have my GPS going. I'm like, okay, 2 blocks this way, 2 blocks. All right, get to Grinkers, and and I just I was so excited to get there. And where was I going with this?
I don't know. It's your story.
Horchata.
I love that story. Yeah, exactly. Horchata. I fucking love this horchata.
Yeah, it was a
so I had those. So by the way, so I get to Grinkers, and I feel great. Like I don't even feel like those vodka drinks have affected me. I don't even feel like anything has affected me. I'm like, yes, I can just pound whatever. Like, give me some beer, and then we were there until. No.
He was feeling Jim Pervious.
Oh, nice.
Jim
Hey, I was happy that we closed that place down. 3:30. Me and Andrew get back to our place. We sat down, we had a drink, and then I'm like, "Hey, look, a bag of chips," and it was great.
Then you cuddled up that bag of chips and took it to bed.
I sure did.
Those were Brian Q's chips you fucking ate, Jim.
Yeah.
No.
You're eating chips in bed, and you got to roll around in it and stuff.
Well, it was
He
a
brought
big
that whole
ass
bag
bag
of
of
chips and salsa.
Yeah, but I didn't do the salsa. I just had the chips, and then I watched 2 episodes of Family Guy, and then I was out.
Sounds like a great night.
It was. Then I curled up the last of the bag of chips. I put it right by the bed, and then Carrie got to discover them.
Dream
I know,
vacation.
but because I showed up the next day and I walked upstairs because I was the first. The guys weren't at the place yet, and so I walked upstairs and I walked in the first bedroom and I saw the bag of chips next to one side of the bed. I'm like, oh yeah, this is Jim's. Here's our room.
Jim did that.
If they had been Doritos, you would have known they were mine.
Oh, yep, exactly.
Right. But you had a small bag of Doritos on the table.
Yes, he did. I walked in. I smiled. I saw that.
It's your trademark.
I'm like, oh my god, they're here. They're really here.
then me and Andrew show up and we're just lit up. Hey,
oh my god, you guys are so drunk.
Let's drink pancake shots.
Yeah, I know.
Wasn't there like
those are the worst pancake shots. We should never mix them together.
I'm sorry, I was experimenting and it was in a hurry.
Oh, it sounded good on paper.
Like,
it made sense.
It
made
wasn't
sense on
bad. It was
paper.
still tasty.
And delicious.
It was still good.
Just didn't get the effect. Was missing.
Yeah, it wasn't quite
Right. Yeah. But we corrected that. Yeah.
And then we went back to Grinkers and drank a gallon or so
until the sun came up.
And that's when I saw Buffett. You took me back to Grinkers, and then bam, and
she saw sunlight, and then she saw a beard, and she's like, "Oh, yes."
Mind blown. That was crazy.
It was delightful.
It was. I didn't stop hugging you. I was just like, oh my God, I can't. It just felt so surreal and so.
Carrie, I'm so glad that I didn't kill him at breakfast, so you got to see him at night.
Yeah, right. I'm glad you didn't. That you put up with
Stop stirring that fucking
It's something you'll never forget. That's all you know.
That's right. That's right.
That's the best part of that joke, dude.
Oh my God. A mug with a little bit of warm water, and that all could have just been dealt with.
Yeah, you won't forget that and the bikini T-shirt.
Oh my God.
Yes,
that
right.
T-shirt was awesome.
I will forever appreciate a really good Long Island iced tea.
Oh my God. Oh.
Because you guys had the worst ones ever.
Ever.
Because we had the non-existent Long Island iced teas that they called a Long Island iced tea.
Yeah.
It was lemon and water.
It was just lemon.
Where'd you buy that at?
I don't know,
what was that, 55 brewery or something like that?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Was that a bar?
Yeah.
It was
barrel 55
it was like a tap house.
Exactly.
But they didn't brew their own beers.
Oh, that's true.
It's not California.
Yeah.
Right.
You know exactly.
Spoiled.
I mean, food was okay.
Spoiled rotten.
My martini was fantastic.
And my martini was fantastic too.
So we made a good change.
My totally girly.
When the bartender comes over and he takes a sip of your drink, he's like, "Oh God, what is that?" And then
he did
a little bit sour in it.
Oh yeah. We passed it around the table, so he got like all of our mouth germs.
Because I first tasted it, and I'm like, "Oh God, Carrie, this is not a Long Island iced tea. This is," and you're like, let me try this.
Yeah, I thought, okay, maybe you were being fussy.
I thought you're fussier than I am. I think on a normal day.
No, you're fussier than I am. Well, it depends.
I want to find out who's fussier.
Yeah, it depends on what it's about, and who's fussier.
Yeah, it's topic specific.
Yeah, we can totally. So when the hanger sets in, then whoever's the hanger.
Oh, see, this wasn't hanger though. This was
I
want a good drink.
No, that was you're right. It was foul. No, it was absolutely disgusting.
And everyone tasted it,
they must not know how to make one.
I was like, I think you could read it on their face.
Put all the.
I don't think you're.
It was.
They didn't know what they were doing.
Oh no, it was
the faces that everyone made.
It was like a flower like shriveling up. Is like.
Oh.
I mean,
it wasn't like, hey, this is bad. It's like this was undrinkable.
Undrinkable.
Oh, wow.
So where's Thursday night in San Diego?
Well, we haven't figured out the night for how we're splitting it up.
I thought it was first night
Thursday.
at Griffin's, and then one of the nights where I guess we're going to that arcade thing, right? The arcade expo.
Yeah, on Saturday.
And then after that, I don't know how beat we're going to be afterwards.
Just wind up back at somewhere.
Let's just hang out somewhere. Fuck
yeah.
Like let's do a bunch of Saturday nights at Denver like we did.
Well, but the problem is, I think there's no single place where we can all be except at someone's house. There's no Airbnb, no large Airbnb that can be the party house. So it has to be kind of wherever who's hosting it. But then we need to split away in order to go to sleep.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys are going to do Airbnb because there's not a lot of selection, but there is a really cheap hotel that they just built. It's brand new. They just built it, and it's like not even barely 5 minutes from Keith and I's house. It's just right next to the freeway. They just built it for the college. I think it's 119 a night or something. It's pretty cheap.
Yeah, that seems like the best.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, honestly, that seems like the best option is if we just
I think
hang
Keith
there
talked
rather
to you
than
about
trying
it,
to.
right?
Yeah, he did, and I told him that I would be down with doing
And
something.
Keith's gone in there and trying to see if they can get a block.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Trying to get a deal or something. Yeah, because but he wasn't talking to the manager. He's talking to the manager's assistant. You know, you got to talk to the real person. You know, so. But already it's pretty cheap there. You know, so.
Right.
Yeah, I think that would be.
It'd be perfect. That's so close. And you could even just Uber from our house there. It would cost you like, $5 or $6 or whatever.
Yeah,
right.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah,
group
super close.
Group Uber it.
Yeah.
Gruber it.
Gruber, yeah.
That's right.
Can you get a Groupon for an Uber?
Yeah.
Groupon. So I don't know what day we're gonna. Keith talked about doing a barbecue at his house.
Nice.
But
thanks for tweaking it. Yeah.
But Patty was gonna make Cuban sandwiches for you guys.
Cuban,
they're super good.
Can you smoke? Can you
They're so freaking good.
I love Cubanos. Oh my god.
She makes them a certain way, so hopefully I don't know if you guys are used to a certain way to have them, but she makes them
Cuban.
She makes them with the Hawaiian rolls.
Ooh,
so
Cuban.
They're really good.
Kind of sweet.
They're perfect. They're perfect with beer.
Mini Cubanos.
Sign me up.
Yeah, they're really yummy. So
like Chinese.
Yep.
the plan was to hang out here for a little bit and then head over to Keith's and then maybe do a barbecue over there or something. I don't know.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
So,
We
but
can have Cubano appetizers at your place.
yeah, a little something like that. Because she was going to do the she still might do it. I don't know yet, but doing the chili con carne. But that's like I don't know how many people are coming and stuff yet. So
yeah,
you can just do that.
Make it up for like 40 or 50 people.
Yeah.
Well, if Neil's going to be there, you need to make it up for
talking about
100
like
people.
50 to 60 people. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Plus Leo, that's like 20 more people.
Yeah, get her to make
Yeah,
some
that's
chicken
true.
wings.
Yeah.
Cheek sneak. He's gonna get it.
Is Leo gonna come?
Buffett,
We can only hope.
If Buffett makes it, we could do the wing off.
Wing off.
Wing off, yeah.
Well, we have a Buffalo Wild Wings just down the street too.
I love B-dubs.
Right. Yeah.
Carrie's
Yeah, we have it. It's like 5 minutes away. Yeah, it's really close.
You talking about a Breakers next year?
No, we're talking about San Diego.
Oh, well, if I get sponsored
4 months,
there I will. But
No.
yeah,
Right.
I won't be there. So
Sponsorship pending.
I know.
we need Old Bay to be our sponsor.
Yeah, right.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Old Bay.
Oh, by the way, the last order I placed was Never Too Hungover. When they said, how did you hear about Never Too Hungover? I put down Arcade Hangout podcast.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Nice.
That's
Right?
cool.
So just a thought for you guys when you place.
I've actually gotten those too. I haven't even responded to them. I should.
Mhm.
I
We
get
need to
those in
find a
emails from
contact, like a phone number. We need to like a conference call. Be like, hey,
If there was one podcast that promotes that brand, I can only imagine a couple, us being one of them.
Yeah.
And it's been going on for like a fucking year at least.
I know.
Oh,
And with the 12 people that we have listening to this show,
Exactly.
Man, our listener base.
I mean, what the fuck?
Is just
Well, it's actually like 400 people.
I know.
But, our 12 are like freaking
Hearing
global.
those kinds of numbers.
400
hurts
people
my
listen
brain.
to you say all the things.
Oh, stop listening.
No, it's the same.
Why are
It's
you
the same
listening?
people who just
There
it's
is
like the
not
same
400.
dozen.
Fuck
No, there's
you.
the same dozen who will start the show and then start it up later again.
Yeah, because Brad has it for audio download and for iTunes and stuff. So you got the iTunes people, plus you have people that download it off the different podcast
Hey
sites.
Brad, I
Definitely
did
the
post
video
it-
versus the
I
audio.
posted it on my Facebook, and I have at least 150 friends. So I think I got about 2 more viewers tonight.
Yeah, 150 of your closest friends.
I know, right?
Yeah.
By the way, I need to filter some of those.
And
out.
actually,
that's, that's just too many.
Could you name half of those?
I know. I don't post this on my Facebook. I don't want people to see me all fucked up.
I don't either.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I get that every once in a while from like my my people that I work with, like it's colleagues and employees, and they're like, "Oh yeah, so you come in every Wednesday morning. You're a little shaky," and I'm like, "Yeah."
Yep, don't worry about it.
Okay,
And they're like,
well, here's what I
do you do about that?
I stay up
And I
late.
was like,
One more word, you're fired.
and I
You can't quit. You're
tell them.
fired.
I will not tell them
this
the
is
name
this,
of the show.
this is my description.
tell them.
Here's what I posted on Facebook. I said,
Never.
for anyone interested, our weekly arcade quote-unquote podcast show is live. Join us in the chat or just hang out with us. We talk about the arcade collecting hobby. Of course, as most of us are having cocktails, the show goes off the rails pretty quickly. Smiley face.
Yeah.
That's very PC of you.
Yeah.
That's why I got probably 2 people to watch for about 4 seconds. For about 4 to 10 seconds.
I know. And you have your Cheyenne restorations. It's like, oh, look at there's 3 views.
I was flipping through on YouTube.
He deserves so much more.
Jim's Jim's in my feed, so I was watching Jim's restoration, and Jim's like, Jim's got this huge arcade machine in his apartment.
Oh, I know.
And my wife's
my
watching
TV
it. She's all, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
What is wrong with
I go,
this
he
guy?
doesn't have a garage. This is what he has to do to be able to work on a machine.
What she didn't even see is like all the Bondo and sanding and
there was like
grinding and
tons of
painting.
dust. And like Jim had like some tarp down on the carpet, and like he's wiping off all the like sand and dust off of it.
Like the dispose of a body plastic.
Oh, I know the crime scene. The crime scene. You guys remember when I lived in my old apartment and I was doing the copy vent stuff? Remember behind that looked like a fucking crime scene.
I do remember that.
I'd come in with a drink and I'd be like tiptoeing over shit. I'm like, I don't want to step in paint.
You're so high from the fumes.
Oh, dude, back then I was fucking high. No, I seriously was. That shit was getting to me. Alcohol plus Bondo fumes plus paint fumes.
Nah,
Holy
how about resin?
And like the shit would be those the paint, like the machines would be on one side. My window was on this side. And so, like, there was no way.
They're all just like wisping right by your nose.
Jim,
God.
are you drunk?
Yeah, when I worked with fiberglass in the garage, there was like a lot of fumes just doing that. And I'm thinking, how could you even do that in a house? No way.
Yeah, tomorrow, Andrew, tomorrow's gonna be a rough day. I took an Ever 2 like 20 minutes ago.
I should probably do another one.
Tomorrow.
I'm gonna have to do another one.
But I didn't
bring any with me.
I didn't tell you guys, but I took this week off, so.
Oh, nice.
Fuck your couch.
Enjoy.
Fuck tomorrow.
Fuck your couch.
Sleep in, buddy.
Yeah, your coworker telling you.
Hey, Andrew, welcome to me. Like, that was all my sick days. Like,
I know. I'm burning them up.
I'd be like,
well, so Jim and Carrie know, but like
Wednesday.
Sunday was my birthday, so I just was like, fuck it, I'm taking this week off.
Nice.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. I finally
we gave
have
Andrew a
employees who-
virtual handy.
I'm taking a week off in January to visit my cousin in Florida. We're gonna go to Disney World, which I've never been, so it's gonna be pretty fun. Yeah, so that'd be a fun trip.
So Andrew, you have staff in place now who can actually like take over, and you don't have to babysit them anymore.
Well, you know what? So like Grinkers was like the test for them, and I didn't get any phone call. I didn't get one text, one phone call, one email.
That's great.
And it was like, you know what? I've got staff in place now who are filling in all the gaps. I'm in a good place, so fuck it, I'm taking another week off.
Yeah, good for you.
I like it.
Yeah, some vacation.
You're older
piled
now.
up.
You need to have that
Dude.
time to rest and recuperate.
I will not be able to burn through the rest of my vacation I have left for the rest of the year. So it's like I'm just taking it where I can.
Do it.
Yeah.
And who gives a shit about the first weekend or the first week of November? So
Right.
I'm out.
So yeah, when you guys come out in March, we got to figure out. Yeah, I'm gonna take those days off. Whatever you guys are doing.
Oh, by the way, I'm getting
You
drunk
better.
on our show in January. My birthday is on technically Wednesday, so it'll turn over on Tuesday night.
All right.
All right. Night.
I'll be the big 3-5.
I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, 'cause the time difference. That's right.
Carrie, oh God.
Oh, if I could only be the big 3-5 again.
I know, right?
Again.
So that's gonna be the episode where we're all like, what were we doing when we were 35?
I'll be the big 3-5. Woo!
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I just turned 34.
Yeah. Oh,
Right,
perpetually.
34 forever.
34,000.
34. Yeah,
Is that what K means?
the K goes for.
I don't even remember what I did at 35. That's the sad part.
Well, that's a good thing, maybe. Yeah. You did a lot of fun
I don't know.
things.
It's all blur.
You can whip it good. Crack that whip. Give the pass a slip.
The cream sits out too long.
Step on a brick, and mama's back.
Yeah.
Oh man.
When a problem comes along,
We
you
call this
must
thing?
whip it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
I see everybody's yawning. And...
I know. I'm like, oh.
All right, Cat.
We're up to 13 viewers.
Get the proper room time.
So,
Right, Jim, sound effects.
Ah, shit. Well. Call me.
I meant like the goodbye so long.
Yeah,
whatever.
the romper room thing.
Oh.
Well, Gax usually does this.
So,
There you go.
kind of hammered right now. we had a few new people or people that haven't been on in a while. Ryerson, right? Nathan Ryerson was on with us tonight.
Yep.
So that was a treat. And Gleek, who was actually on physically with us, I guess.
Physically, metaphysically,
I didn't even see him say
spiritually.
goodbye. When did he leave?
Snuck out.
He just gets
somebody,
drunk.
I don't recall
Yeah,
seeing
between
him
10:54
before.
and
Chris Dorr.
That's so specific.
Quit talking about me.
Chris Dorr. D-O-R-R. He was on with us tonight. And, you know, some of our favorites, Brian Frober.
Yeah.
Frober.
Yeah.
Hopefully next week. We need to force him to hang out with us.
Yeah, Gus is still with us.
Gus.
Gus.
We got Canadian Arcade.
And
DW?
Kyle.
Mule.
Mule's on with us.
Oh, yeah, no, that's Gino.
Gino. Yep.
Luop was on.
Luop was on. Nice.
Brado was on.
Oh, I missed Luop.
Sorry, Gino. I'm distracted.
Brado was on with us tonight.
Brado was on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
All right.
Rod
Has Brado
McLarge.
been on with us before, Orange Drip?
Brado's even been on the video once.
All right. I'm drunk. I don't remember things.
He was on. Not very long.
Yeah. Pretty much. Henry, I think she came over to my house earlier tonight. I sort of a blur.
In the chat.
Yeah, pictures to prove it.
Yes.
Dave from Buffalo was on.
Oh yeah, Luop was on for like he posted like one message and then
Yeah, Dave didn't come on the show though.
Dave from Buffalo.
Yeah.
You know, we need to just, you know, the regulars that chat, we need to get them on with us talking.
They need to be, because like what the fuck? That's the point.
Yes, exactly.
It was great to see Nagy on too.
Yes, I want him to come on with us again too.
It's so funny. It's 6 in the morning over there when he comes on our show.
Yeah, awesome. It's so freaking awesome.
I know.
There's no way he could possibly have to be working that day.
Bullet. What's the
It's got to be like a weekend or like he's calling in sick the next day.
Just wait to enter the campfire sound is gonna come, and that's like 30 seconds.
I'd say you had enough.
Have some more beans, Mr. Tiger. I'm so easily amused.
You got Steve.
I'm gonna die so happy. I'm gonna be the happiest.
CW was on with us tonight too.
Mule's asking where'd the Toki go, Jim.
It's right here, buddy.
You need to ask Joel that.
It's a
Ready
work
for
in
some
process.
Okie go.
It's got to be
Ready for
built.
some vinyl.
Got to be restored.
Yeah.
It's laying down. It's all napping.
Got the T-molding. I got the vinyl. I got the
Joystick.
chips, dips, chains,
Yeah.
whips.
Typical teenage Georgie stuff.
Teenagers. You're kidding me.
Kokache!
So if anybody else hasn't finished up Stranger Things, finish it up this week. Maybe we'll
we can
talk about the rest
Yeah,
of
we'll
it.
be done. I'll be done next week. Or this week.
Spoil that shit next week.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
spoil that for everybody after.
Yeah.
talk about
I don't even know what it is.
Spoil alert.
Perfect.
Of
Right,
course you
Kibbo.
don't, Buffett.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, yes, Orange.
Play our goodbyes.
Yep.
All right, here we
All
go.
right.
Cheers, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Hasta
Good
la
night.
pasta. That's Italian for goodbye.